thank the Academy for recognizing a truly independent film.
Sean Baker won Best Director for Anora, which won 5 Academy Awards, including the biggest, Best Picture. Mikey Madison also honored in that movie as Best Actress. Best Actor went to Adrian Brody, one of the Brutalists' 3 Oscars. Kieran Culkin won Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, my God, that's crazy.
For his role in A Real Pain, Zoe Saldana got Best Supporting Actress for Emilia Perez. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Keeping your eye on the sky. Nothing on radar. 30 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Rain is possible, along with a few storms in Indiana soon. Jake McDaniel reports.
For Tuesday into early Wednesday, there could be some stronger to maybe even severe thunderstorms in far southern parts of Indiana, but
a little less confidence and certainty with if there'll be any stronger thunderstorms into the central Indiana area. The potential for that, but so far it appears that threat will be staying more to our south, if not well to our south.
Alexander McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says 1/2 an inch to an inch of rain is possible in Indiana. There could maybe even be more of that. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you need to get gas today, Gas Buddy says the statewide average is $2.83 a gallon. That's down about 10 cents from this time last week. One station in Indianapolis is selling it for $2.07. A gathering of people on a courthouse lawn in Fort Wayne Sunday to protest actions taken by the Trump administration and what they say are the billionaires being given access to our country's inner workings. They were there to support several causes, including voting rights, abortion rights, protection of democracy, transgender rights, and to protect diversity, equity, and inclusion. UPS locations in Indiana are expected to close. That includes the buildings in Crawfordsville, Bourbon, and Washington. Those closures are expected to happen in May. One Indiana House bill set to get reviewed in the Senate during the second half of the legislative session is a bill focused on boosting transparency and dealing with high health care costs at nonprofit hospitals. State Representative Julie McGuire of Indianapolis co-authored the bill.
This bill takes important accountability steps to ensure fair, transparent pricing for Hoosiers.
House Republicans say they also signed bills that called for a balanced budget, reduced regulations on schools, addressed housing needs, and modernized the energy grid. The second half of the legislative session begins today. And with traffic now, here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, John, East 71st Street closed over I-465 for bridge work, and that's going on until 2:30 this afternoon. This construction will repeat tomorrow, and then that's it, at least for now. Eastbound 70 before Post Road on the east side, crash left shoulder. Traffic sponsored by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA Guide. BetterNestEgg.com. Don't leave your future to chance. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
And your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Chilly start here this morning, but we're mostly sunny and should be a little bit warmer this afternoon, closer to average, a high near 50. Tonight, increasing clouds and calm, a low of 41. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Sean Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
You know, in a super weird way, Trump and Zelensky is sort of like what's going on around here. One thing is really broken. The other guy is pointing out it's really broken, and nobody seems to have a solution. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Our old pal, Jerry Spanglish. You find it, or Jerry Lopez. You find him on Twitter at Indy Spanglish. And for Casey Lopez, hello.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
All right, so you'll notice that you may have heard there John Herrick sounding like he was something out of a Terminator episode, and you'll notice on the YouTube feed that the cameras are not working. Everything's broke around here. I don't know what. Maybe by noon today, someone will get into fixing this. They were apparently alerted, at least as it went to the cameras on Friday, that there was a problem, and basically it was your call is ignored in the order in which it's received. So you'll be able to hear us today on the YouTube feed, not see the program, which is amazing because there was apparently some sort of update with the cameras. These cameras are like something from 1989, so I was amazed that they even have the ability to update in any shape, form, or fashion.
The fact that they're even receiving updates from somewhere. Yeah.
But the fact that they're updating, and the update is what is screwing everything up. So you can hear the program today on YouTube. You'll not be able to see it. And one of the things that thankfully you could see that took place on Friday was the interaction between Trump and Zelensky. And let me go on record right now saying this is the greatest, most amazing thing I think I may have ever seen take place in the Oval Office. I feel like, at least for the past 25 years, I've followed politics relatively close, and I've never seen anything like this, buddy.
One of the things that I really took, not only have I not seen anything like it before, but the fallout from it, where immediately people were, I support Zelensky, I support Trump. Online, it was a civil war of who was okay with what happened.
Let's talk about that for a second, the I stand with Ukraine people, because Ukraine has no track record of supporting America. They have no track record of being a reliable ally. In fact, they have a long track record of siding with people who hate us. See Saddam Hussein. They're an incredibly corrupt country. They're very underhanded. They're not good people. Now, there may be fine people who live in Ukraine.
They're just not worse than...
But in terms of their government, right? We act like this is like if it were Israel versus Russia.
Right.
This is not good guy versus bad guy. It's bad guy versus bad guy. We, for some reason, maybe or maybe not money laundering, decided to enter ourselves into this equation. Now, keep in mind, with the money that went to Ukraine, hundreds of billions at this point, we don't even know exactly how much. What we do know is it's so bad that even Zelensky came out and was like, yeah, there's like $100 billion.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. We do know like $500 million ended up in the hands of the FTX guy, who then gave it to the Democrats. And Trump said, we're done with this, right? We are not, it's bad guy versus bad guy. We don't really like either one of you people. We just want it to be over with.
And if we don't end this now, we're just going to keep wasting money. Right. How much more money can we possibly throw into this to help you win?
That's right. This is the question I have about the cameras, right? Like every 3 months, I have to order a new cable. By the way, how is it that I can get a cable on Amazon in 2 hours delivered to my house, but they're like, yeah, it'll be middle of next week before we get this, right? The point is, it seems like with these cameras, there's always some deal, and we throw more money at the camera, and then the camera screws up again. Why don't we just get new cameras? Same thing going on here with Russia and the Ukraine, which is how much money are you throwing at these people who don't even like us to begin with, who aren't our friends, and they haven't shown any real tangible benefit other than maybe we kind of fought Russia to a stalemate over 3 years.
Well, and if we stop paying, you lose within 2 weeks. It's over, right? So can we just end this now, everybody? Exactly. If we stop paying you, you're going to lose. If we stop paying, you're done. So we're just going to get bled to death over here?
Yeah, it's the equivalent of, in checkers, you've got 2 kings, and the other guy has 6 kings at the end of the game. Yeah. Is the game over?
I mean, technically no, but yes.
Right.
Yes.
It is going to end the way it's going to end, which is you might as well just end it and start over.
Yeah.
And this is what Trump has recognized, which is Russia's going to end up with land, and the United States needs to broker the best deal as fast as possible because there's no reason to give more money to someone who has not been able to prove, I don't mean to be callous when I say this, but they have not been able to prove that using this money will help you win this this war. And it's always the U.S. It's always the U.S. either with troops or with money. And Trump just said, we're done with this. And this miserable little you-know-what has the audacity, after the hundreds of millions of dollars that we have given his country, to show up to the Oval Office and say anything other than just, thanks, what's our next step here, boss?
He did come across very pompous. Like, he was talking trash to our president and the VP, speaking over them at times. I mean, I was very proud of Vice President Vance for stepping in there, because Pence let people run all over Trump.
Yeah, all right. So there's a couple clips. Here's Trump and Zelensky going back and forth.
Start from the beginning. Sure. First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position
on
to
this question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling
I'm
with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
This is, I love this, because Trump is the master of knowing what you're going to do before you know you're going to do it, and then making you do the thing that he knew you were going to do. And he knew this dude was going to come in there arrogant and unprepared, and he knew what the result would be. It's no different than these politicians. Why do they hate us? Because we press them. We have the audacity to press them on the obvious. They don't have an answer for the obvious. They're mad they're being pressed on the obvious. And this dude, instead of just looking at the facts, which is, hey, man, this country has given us hundreds of billions of dollars. We haven't been able to show any tangible benefit of it in terms of a likelihood of ending this anytime soon. Any reasonable person would have pulled the plug a long time ago. Why don't we negotiate the best deal that we possibly can that keeps America with some sort of like security footprint over here to protect us after we give up whatever we're going to eventually give up anyway, and then secure for the future. Hey, over the next 10, 20 years, we don't have to deal with these people anymore, which is what the whole thing was supposed to be about, which is the mineral deal.
Yep.
The problem is Zelensky still is under some sort of delusion, and I think it's a money grab.
Yep.
Or he's trying to sell that Ukraine can win this war. And Trump's like, you can't win. You cannot win. We want this done. It's going to be done one way or another. We're offering you with this mineral rights deal the ability that America will have not only a footprint, but an economic interest in not letting Russia come in again, whatever we give them this time. And Zelensky's like, nah. We want to fight and win this war. And Trump's like, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, well, if you also take into account that, Zelensky will be up for re-election. Election that should have already happened.
They don't have elections.
No, because it's under martial law right now. So there's no elections right now. As soon as the war ends, they need to have elections. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know where Zelensky is at in polling, but he'd have to run and win again. So are you going to get rid of a job where you can lose half of $100 billion and stay in power without elections? Or are you going to fight tooth and nail to stay in that position?
Yeah, it's a great point. All right, so here's the second part of this. I like this one even better. So Vance gets in on it.
There we go.
Vance is, he's a stone cold killer. Like Trump gets super emotional about stuff, or into it, and is a brawler. Vance is like the disappointed parent, and he's so smart that he'd be the last guy I'd want to get into probably like a serious debate with. Here's a little more of Zelensky, Trump, and now Vance.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. you have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
Not
haven't been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong.
It's the equivalent of asking somebody to watch your kid, and then the person's like, yeah, okay, I got this amount of time free. You got to fit whatever you got to do in this amount of time. I'll gladly come over and watch your kid. And then you're mad that they didn't stay an extra 2 or 3 hours watching your kid so that you can go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do. But it's like, just get home as fast as you possibly can, say thanks, and now it's my turn. You've done enough here, buddy. Thank you for all you've done. And the guy won't do it.
I mean, I would put it like this, Rob Kendall. It's like if somebody said, meet me on the playground after school at 3 o'clock, and you go, man, this guy's going to whoop my butt, Jerry. Come with me. And I go, Rob, he's going to beat the hell out of you. Let me try to get you out of this. And I go talk to the guy, and I go, Rob, he says he doesn't want to do it anymore. You know what, Jerry? No, we are going. I don't want to be involved, Rob. Right? Yeah. So here's one thing that I do need to say. You can be anti-war, anti-Zelensky, and not be pro-Putin.
Yeah.
Right? This is in the best interest of Ukraine to not fight this war.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. All right, let's take a break. We got some more audio of this. They asked Mike Johnson about this yesterday, and then Trump truthed out about it, so we'll have a little Whitney action. A lot on the way. Spanglish is in for Casey. Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump.
President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today
Kash Patel confirmed as the next director of the FBI.
could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
City water or well water, get better water with C&J. You just can't find anybody better than the pros at C&J. Great systems and great people, too. Just call them 317-733-SOFT.
All right, so we got to play this clip from NBC because this clip from NBC, now the mainstream national media is admitting all the things on Biden we've been saying for years, and NBC is now getting around to this. They're joining the team. It is the Kendall Casey show, by the way. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish on Twitter, in for Casey. We're talking about this whole Zelensky-Trump thing, and the reason he did this, first of all, he's arrogant. Second of all, he went in totally ill-prepared for who he was dealing with. Like, the moment both of them sit down, Trump and Vance, Trump would be bad enough to try to spar with. The moment both of them sit down, like, you're never winning that.
Well, and J.D. Vance, if for those of you that aren't military aware, that he gave the 4 fingers and a thumb point, and that lets you know you're in trouble when you're in the service. We call it the knife hand.
No, okay, because I was going to say, can you do that for the camera? But you can't see us today on YouTube.
Yeah,
we are on YouTube. The YouTube stream is working. However, even though they were aware Friday that there was some major issue with the cameras, it's not been rectified. So I guess you will just be able to hear us today. But you are indeed making
4 fingers straight forward. Yeah. Thumb on top. We call that the NCO handshake.
The NCO handshake. All right. So NBC, maybe this was also played on MSNBC. NBC comes out and basically says the reason Zelensky is doing this and behaving this way is because he did it to Biden, and Biden got pissed off but never did anything about it.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. So in this conversation, President Biden called President Zelensky to tell him about a roughly $1 billion package of additional equipment and weapons for the Ukrainian military coming from the United States. During the course of the call, President Zelensky continued, according to a number of officials who we spoke with who are familiar with the call, President Zelensky continued to talk about the additional equipment and weapons and support that he and his military needed. According to these officials, they said that President Biden finally just got frustrated and lost his temper and told President Zelensky, look, you could be a little bit more grateful. The reason that this story is interesting to us and is something that we are reporting on and officials are speaking to us about is because it shows that all these months ago, President Biden already realized that there was going to be a point where the American people, members of Congress, where people would start potentially pushing back on all these billions and billions of dollars of aid and equipment that the U.S. has been providing to Ukraine. And he knew that the narrative out there needed to be that the Ukrainian people and President Zelensky were grateful for it.
Okay, first of all, the idea that you're sending billions, plural, much less hundreds of billions, to some country, and your thing from the beginning, you don't have all this figured out at the beginning, like, hey, we're calling the shots, you're taking our money. Like, when you're a kid, and when you're a teenager, you live under your parents' roof. Thus you live under their rules. So when your parents tell you, hey, yeah, you can go see your friends. Like, when I was growing up, my dad told me when I had to be home. Yep. And it was not open for debate or discussion because it was his house and it was his rules. Now, he was very lenient because he knew that if I did something that ended up in a confinement of some sort, that he would just let me sit in there. So I didn't have to worry. He didn't have to worry about me misbehaving. But if he said, you got to be home by such and such a time, There wasn't some thing where there was a negotiation or it was open for discussion because he was paying the freight. But yet this Zelensky dude, because he knew Biden was such an old, decrepit pushover, knew not only am I going to get all this money from this guy, but I'm going to boss him around on how I'm going to spend this money, when I'm going to get the money, when I'm going to ask for more money. And Biden's like, well, eventually somebody's going to be very upset about this, and we might have to figure out what to do once people become too upset and don't want to give you money anymore. Like, this is how our country was run for 4 years.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't even my parents told me to get home. It was Indiana Power and Light, right? When that street light came on, that was time to go home, right? But so what we all fail to remember is who knows what the Ukrainian government had on the Biden administration. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Great
Hunter
point.
Biden working at Burisma. Trump got in trouble for saying, hey, I need you to investigate these guys. So who knows? Maybe you can show up and go, Mom, I know that you're drinking and you're telling Dad you're not. I'm not coming home till midnight. And she goes, okay, you're right.
Look, all right, so let's take a break. We'll get to more of the Trump-Zelensky stuff later on in the show. We got the Mike Johnson audio, the Trump tweet. We'll get to all that later. When we come back, did you hear this rant this guy went on about me?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear this? So there was they're all this is so great. So there were all these county party chairman elections over the week. It was reorganization day for both the Democrats and Republicans across the state. And every county picked a new county leadership. And there was a hotly contested race in Marion County. It went exactly the way I said it was going to go, given who one of the candidates chose to publicly associate with. And for some reason, one of these guys that supported him got enraged at me and went on I loved this. This was great that this guy was this unhinged over me pointing out that if you hang out with idiots, people aren't going to vote for you. And somehow I became the bad guy in the equation. So we'll make sense of it all, and we'll play the audio for you. Cap, did you bleep all of this?
I did, but I think I'm going to have to double check it just to be safe.
How long did it take you to bleep all this? It had to take like at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes.
Oh, it's great. All right, we'll laugh at some idiots when we come back. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
When you're running a small business, every dollar counts. And there's lots of ways you could try saving money, like, say, subletting half your office to an exotic pet shop, or downsizing your fleet of catering trucks to a fleet of catering scooters. Or you could try a smarter way to save. Switch to Comcast Business Mobile. It could save you up to 70% on business wireless compared to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and save you the hassle of having a parrot as your desk mate. So don't compromise your business to save money. Keep it growing with Comcast Business Mobile, an incredible value and smarter way to save. Comcast Business Mobile, powering smarter savings, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Compares weighted average of providers based on optimized pricing. Comcast Business Internet required. Reduced speeds after data usage included with plan. Savings may vary.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A combination of several things. Cloudy and 33 degrees on Monument Circle. 53 is your high today. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Rain is supposed to move into Indiana on Tuesday, but that might not be the only thing you see.
After that cold front comes through, I wouldn't be surprised to see rain changing over to snow Wednesday afternoon, evening, and then into Wednesday night. We're not really looking at much accumulation at all.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service says temperatures will warm up as the week goes on. South Carolina and North Carolina dealing with wildfires. Nearly 5,000 acres have been burned in South Carolina as 175 Fires were reported across the state. So far, no injuries. Honda is supposed to move production of its next Civic hybrid car to Indiana due to possible tariffs. That's according to Reuters, which cited people familiar with the matter. The car maker had been set to produce the cars in Mexico. President Trump has set a 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada will go into effect tomorrow. Honda plans on building the new Civic model in Indiana starting in May of 2028. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. So far, the Dow is up 132 points to 44,021. The S&P 500 is up 25 points to 5,988. And the NASDAQ is up 153 points to 21,072. I'm Sean Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
Call B Window for all your home improvement needs. From windows, doors, siding, to bathroom remodeling, the B team is happy to help you invest in your largest asset, your home. This month only, receive $400 off per window, $850 off per patio or entry door with 2.99% financing. Proud to be employee owned. Call today or visit bwindow.com.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
If you love spring in Indy but hate the paint, do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came and we discussed what we wanted done. This time, we had the roof done as well.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have that. They don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
If you hang out with idiots, people will punish you for hanging out with idiots. This shouldn't have been that hard to figure out. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Jerry Lopez, our old pal, Indy Spanglish on Twitter, in for Casey. So we've got to play you this audio. This guy just went ballistic on me, and we'll set it up for you. People say all the time, they're like, man, what a cool life you have, Rob. And for the most part, it is. I mean, right? Like, yeah. I mean, this is a pretty good, fun existence. But part of being in this position is you run into or run across some just very interesting people, Jerry. People who you just go, how are you a functioning member of society? And
This was on full display the other day, and it's amazing the things people get mad at me about that I don't even have anything really to do with, right? So all across the state of Indiana over the weekend, both the Democrat and Republican parties had their county leadership organization days where the precinct committeemen go in and they vote who the new county chair, the vice chair, the treasurer, the secretary, I think are the four, who that's going to be. I think every county of the state had this, whether it's Hendricks County or, Marion County, all of them, right? And one of the big ones that people are focused on was Marion County. The Democrats are kind of in complete disarray, but the Republicans are even worse, so the Democrats keep winning. And in the Marion County race, there was a contested race for Republican Party chairman. And it was a woman by the name of Natalie Goodwin, who is super establishment, going to be the status quo of continued failure that we've seen under the current regime, or this guy named John Schmitz. And Schmitz is a perennial candidate who has lost several times. You know Schmitz?
I know the name.
You know, yeah. He's a nice enough guy. Very.
He's always out doing community service. He does a lot of work.
Hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
Sort of guy. I saw him at the bowling event the other day.
Yep.
Guy you definitely want to go have a beer with. Very nice guy. But not very good at politics. Loses a lot. Just ran for Congress against Carson. He's running for other things. Lost lots of losing. And he publicly associates with a couple of the worst people imaginable to associate with in the sense of Republican Party politics.
Right.
Which is, I think they're feuding now, friends with Gabe Whitley and a guy by the name of Bob Kern. Now, for those of you who don't know, now everybody knows Whitley's story, right? Whitley is the guy who made up all the fake donors and now has pled guilty to that in federal court and is getting ready to be sentenced for making up all these, the massive, I guess you'd call it fraud with the campaign finance reports, hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's getting ready to get sentenced. He's got this felony charge locally for the threats against Abdul made online. And the Schmitz guy for multiple years, despite people telling him, hey, you're publicly associating with someone who is reviled inside your own party, kept promoting and propping up and putting up Whitley. And me and others were like, dude, that is going to bite you in the ass so bad because people hate that guy.
Yep.
And you're not only like trying to be some sort of nice guy, you're running around with him. Oh, he's a great guy. He's a this, he's a that. Now, Bob Kern is a little bit of a different story. Bob Kern was, I don't know if he still is, Gabe Whitley's roommate, by the way. So they're all in this soup together. Bob Kern is a perennial candidate. He's been around on the Indianapolis political scene, I don't know, 30 years maybe. Wow. He is like if Ernest T. Bass from Andy Griffith and Nathan Lane's character on The Birdcage could mold into one person. That is how I would describe Bob Kern. Well, Bob Kern, his most recent political endeavor that I remember is he tried to run a Democrat convention for lieutenant governor last year.
Okay.
They have an open convention like the Republicans do where Micah won. You file, you go, you give a speech, people vote. Schmitz is at the convention campaigning for Bob Kern. So Schmitz, who now wants to be the Republican Party chairman,
is actively campaigning for a Democrat.
Was just last year.
Yeah. That's bad
campaigning
luck.
at the Democrat. He was told to leave, by the way. There was the story that Abdul reported. When they found out he was there, like, dude, you're a Republican. Get out of here.
You're bad for our business.
What are you doing? So he gets told to leave, according to Abdul. And so it's like your track record, Schmitz. First of all, you lose all the time. And you're publicly associating and propping up a guy who pled guilty in federal court to lying to the FEC. He's got this very serious felony charge against him related to Abdul that's hanging out there. Right. He's doing all sorts of goofy, weird stuff related to that, which many people have seen. And you're at the Democrat convention, not campaigning for some super conservative Democrat or some person that you're like, man, it'd be great to get him in here. He's more conservative than the Republican.
Right.
You're there campaigning for the guy that is a mixture between Nathan Lane's character in The Birdcage and Ernest T. Bass. And I told him, and numerous people, it was my understanding, have told him this, you're slitting your own risked hanging out with these people. No one's going to take you serious.
Not even moderate Democrats.
No, there's no person, especially you want to be a Republican Party chairman, and these are your friends, these are your people.
Yeah.
No, that's not professional. Nobody's going to think you have the organizational skills to run anything. Well, he wouldn't listen, and dun-da-da-da, there was a vote, and by a total of 282 to 142, she won.
That's a blowout. That's a blowout.
She smoked him, which sucks because she's going to be the same status quo what we have now, which means it's going to be Democrats winning 60% of the vote in all these elections. Andre Carson will go untouched. Whoever the next mayor candidate is will go untouched. Whoever the next prosecutor candidate is will go untouched. Nothing's going to change here. But because because there was no viable alternative, the alternative was some guy who can't win, who can't get close, who is never contesting elections that he's running in. See the most recent one, he ran against Andre Carson. And his buddies are Whitley and Kern. People are like, we'd rather just lose.
Yeah.
We'd rather just keep losing. So I pointed all of this out.
You vote for the enemy you know.
I told John this multiple times. I said, you are a heck of a nice guy. I like you personally. We'd probably be better off if you won. But people are not going to vote for you while you're associating with these people.
Yep.
And he wouldn't listen, and then he got smoked. And so I posted the results. Abdul has the story up at Indy Politics, and I said, gee, who would have thought that when you hang out with these people, the precinct committeemen aren't going to take you serious? I think that's a pretty obvious commentary, Jerry.
I don't think anything you said is surprising at all. If you run around with a bunch of scumbags without knowing anything about you, I assume that you're like them. And most people, most voters don't know any of this stuff. And the precinct committeemen probably listen to this show, right? They're plugged in. They at least have volunteered for something that's way more serious than just showing up and voting.
If you are a precinct committeeman, there's a very, very good chance you know the track record of Gabriel Whitley and Bob Kern.
So when you hear those names and you go, oh, he associates with them, that's an automatic no-go.
All right, so then, but wait, there's more, right? So I post this thing and say, boy, this was no surprise. You know, when you keep this sort of company, this is what you're going to get. And the people spoke on this. Well, this guy, Stephen Whitmer, who I think I've met him once or twice in person. We've talked about him. He ran for state rep and lost against Justin Moed. He ran for city county council and lost in a primary before that. So, I mean, the guy's a two-time loser. But that aside, we've been nothing but nice to him. We mentioned his door knocker on this show before. He had a nice door knocker. We've been nothing but nice to him.
Not a bad guy either.
No, never had any beef with him, never anything. I guess he's got some sort of podcast. And in the wake of Schmitz, because he hung out with a couple of idiots and got smoked because of it, in the wake of him losing and ignoring what people like me were telling him, like, do not hang out with these people. You will be punished for hanging out with these people. This guy went on his podcast and just went into this just rage about me. Well, you know, Spanglish, hate mail or hate podcasting with us.
Yeah.
We're going to chuckle at that and take it straight to the front of the line. Take a listen to this.
But let me point this out to you, Rob. I know that you were at the bowling alley yesterday for the Hammer and Nigel thing. John Schmitz was there, and I asked some people, it's like, hey, did they squash the beef? Did Rob squash the beef with Kendall? And someone told me, he's like, yeah, I think they did. And so what does Rob Kendall do the following day? He does this, and it just shows how much of a piece of shit Rob Kendall is. If that you want to talk nice to somebody to their face, and then you come back here and then you talk crap about them. Go figure that Rob Kendall is a fake motherfucker. And anybody who thinks that Rob Kendall is a nice guy, I just showed you proof of how he isn't. He is a fraud. This whole property tax rally thing is a total distraction. By the way, notice that he's not talking about the LEAP project anymore, and there's a reason why. It's because he's getting info from Democrats. He's getting info from Hope, the Braun Pack people, to make sure that they're putting pressure on the property tax thing.
Kev, pause. Last week alone, I think we did 3 segments at least on LEAP, including a long interview with Nikki Kelly from Indiana Capital Chronicle about the money that that cannot be accounted for with LEAP and all the taxpayer money.
So this is a fact, and I have never told you this. I am pretty much on national brand, but when it comes to LEAP, I didn't know much. Anytime I sit with you, I look up LEAP because I know you're going to bring it up.
We talk about LEAP all the time, which means this guy, I mean, not that you needed to know because we're going to play a lot more of this. It gets better. Has no idea what he's talking about. He's clearly not
But
listening.
you do talk about LEAP for sure.
All the time we talk about LEAP. It's totally, it's horrible. I don't know how we lead hours with it. We have journalists on who have covered LEAP. Last week alone, we did multiple segments on the LEAP district. Keep going.
Property tax thing, and they never mention LEAP anymore. Why? Because the Hope PAC is part of the Market Red campaign or consulting people. And who's on the Market Red? The Gentrys. Oh yeah, the mayor of Lebanon, and also Josh Kelly. Oh, the chief of staff for Mike Braun. So if Rob Kendall.
Okay, stop. Pause. So we mentioned Hope multiple times the past week. We actually ripped on them because they're the ones who ran the ads getting on Scott Baldwin and those guys for voting against the tax cut, then started running the ads saying to praise them for the governor's year. We did multiple segments about that. We rip on the Gentrys all the time on here. This guy is like, keep going.
Mike Braun. So if Rob Kendall wants to stop being such a and talk about that, maybe I'll change my tune. But until then, he's a ass coward. And you know what? All of you can tell him that. And I want to know why he's having a property tax rally on a weekday. Who the is going to go to that thing in the middle of the day on a working day?
Okay, pause. We're having the property tax rally on St. Patrick's Day, one, because that's when the lawmakers are there. They're not there on the weekend.
That's when he wants you there, weekends.
What good would that do? Two, we're having numerous lawmakers speak at the thing from the House who want to be supportive of us. They're not going to be there on the weekend.
Everybody's going to be downtown already.
Yes, because of St. Patrick's Day. We're telling people to wear green, Einstein. It's a give us our money back rally. That's why we're doing it on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Middle of the day on a working day. That's why this whole property tax rally thing is totally fake. It's fake, just like Rob Kendall. God, that guy annoys me. He's totally establishment, by the way. Stop thinking like he's part of the grassroots, because Rob Kendall is only to serve one person, and that is Rob Kendall.
Okay, pause real quick. So a very high-ranking member of the establishment.
You're not establishment. You are anti. Rob, I did not. Once again, I have to tell this every now and then. When I first met Rob, I said I did not like you because I thought you were bad for Republicans. You are the biggest anti-establishment person that I know, so much that I thought you were bad for business.
Yes, remember, I actually heard this because a very multiple high-profile members of the establishment sent this to me and they're like, bro, we can't even describe how much we hate you, but this is funny. And I said, yeah, all right, real quick, Kev, because I know we got to get you a break.
He doesn't really care. He just wants to make sure that he gets more airtime because just an insecure little.
Okay, all right. I'm on 9 to noon every day no matter what I do, bro. That's my contract. 9 to noon. That's what my contract says. I don't get more or less airtime. John Schmitz was a nice guy, good dude, good for the community, bad candidate, hung around with a bunch of idiots. And he paid the price for it. That's not my fault. That's his fault. I tried to warn him. He didn't listen. He got smoked. Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, broadcasting live at Woodland Bowl, starting at 3. It's Red, White, and Bowl, presented by Jack Daniels. It's Beer Sample Friday. Let's have a day.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696 888-848-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
I know, it's cold, it's gross, it's winter. But hey, here at Life Church, we're planning for spring and summer. We have some really great events planned for your kids and teenagers, and they start soon. So don't miss the opportunity to register your kids and teens for our exciting events where they'll hang out with friends and grow closer to God while doing it. So go to lifechurchin.com, I'm new, Next Gen, and scroll down to the events. You can register your kids today and get those dates on your calendar and dream of warm, sunny things. We'll see you soon.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center with leading-edge treatment options right in your backyard.
I feel blessed and lucky. If I knew someone that was going through what I was going through, I would definitely encourage them to participate in a clinical trial. For me, it was life-changing.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go.
Would you like fries with that?
Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you see my life?
I'm starting to second guess this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly, right? Everybody thinks, oh, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to be you. It'd be cool to be on the radio. These are the people that of course, we take it and we laugh at it because it's wholly ridiculous. Obviously, there's so many things in that rant that we played. If you missed the last segment, go back, listen to the podcast. It's totally worth it. Some guy went ballistic on me. And I mean, he was just so wrong, easily wrong. But it's like this. But the takeaway from this is why conservatives don't win, because they don't nominate normal candidates.
I think normal people are scared to run, man.
They are. But you see, when someone like Micah Beckwith runs, he wins.
Sure.
Because Micah came off. He's very conservative, obviously. He's a normal dude. He's a good-looking guy. He's married to former Miss Indiana. He's a good dad.
Stood on his values.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Normal guy, hangs around normal people, right? People looked at him and said, I can see that guy in that position.
Yeah.
But so often, these conservative people who may have good political views, but they have no self-control and no discipline in terms of how do you move regular people to vote for you? How do you get regular people? Like, I say this to people all the time. The issues you pick, the issues you talk about in campaigns, a lot of times they want to get on 18 different things and audit the Fed and this, and that's all fine. But that's not things regular people care about. How do you espouse conservatism? How do you talk about things that regular people care about? And how do you present yourself in a way that normal people go, okay, I can see that person in that position. Micah did it. Micah did it to perfection. You conservatives can win, but not when you're running around with idiots.
Yeah, it makes it very hard already when people don't know who you are, who you truly are, and people now are more skeptical than ever on who they're voting for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time there's an election, people go, we're primarying the other guy immediately.
And like in the case of Marion County, I'm sad because I actually probably wanted
we would have been better off
Schmitz to win.
Yeah,
because the woman who won is not going to change anything. Nothing's going to be noticeably different in terms of results, which is why I told Schmitz for a long time, I said, stop hanging out with those guys. Stop saying nice things about them. Stop running around with them. Stop publicly associating with them. And then when we're proven correct, somehow I turned into the bad guy for telling you exactly what was going to happen.
Well, I know you just want more airtime, Rob.
All right, next hour, J.D. Prescott's going to join us. He's on House Ways and Means Committee. We'll have an update on what's going on with Senate Bill 1, the property tax rally, which is on a Monday because it's St. Patrick's
Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and it really is spring cleaning time. A great time to give your carpets some love. They are the largest air filter in your home, and a good spring cleaning can remove the really scary stuff deeply embedded in the fibers. There's a good chance you're breathing unhealthy levels of germs and dirt, dander, and bacteria that just keep recirculating again and again. Well, here's some really great news. Zero Res has a February special of 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. And with their Gotta Love It guarantee, they're going to make sure your investment with them is a great experience. The Zero Res service is easy to line up. You can go online at zeroresindy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Mention WIBC, get 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. It's Zero Res. Call 317-388-5141. 317-388-5141 or book things online at zeroresindy.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WOW25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WOW25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WOW25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code WOW25.
Cold weather brings hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So get in on those hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP $104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP $61,695. Offers going on now. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the temperatures and more will change with the Indiana weather in a short amount of time this week. You'll hear how. Trouble with a FedEx plane, but Alex Palou had no trouble to start off the IndyCar season. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, it's 10 o'clock.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Parents, teachers, school board members, do you want your school to experience the richness of academic freedom or the constraints of a one-size-fits-all federal mandate called Common Core Standards? Advocates for Academic Freedom is for educational excellence and local control of your school. Come join the fight for your children's education. You can contact us at advocatesforacademicfreedom.org or call 1-715-234-5072.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right
that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You'll get a lot in a short amount of time. Right now, 35 degrees with a clear radar. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Rain, snow, strong winds, and a warm-up. Ryan Hedrick reports that's all coming this week.
Rain moves in Tuesday and sticks around all day. Temperatures will drop Wednesday, bringing a better shot at snow. But by Friday,
we're already back up into the low to mid-50s, and it looks like we'll be around the 50-degree mark for much of the weekend.
Forecaster Cody Moore at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says that trend continues into next week when temperatures will stay in the 60s. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
$2.85 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, says Gas Buddy. That's down 5 cents from where it was this time last week. The legislative session at the Indiana State House is half over. Half number 2 begins today. If you ask House Republicans, they believe they already got a lot done. State Representative Matt Lehman of Bern lays it out.
We worked on a lot of important legislation this first half of session. House Republicans authored and passed bills to protect taxpayers, strengthen our communities, further empower Hoosiers across the state.
When a bill is passed in the House, a senator will sponsor and guide it through the Senate chamber. The same process applies for bills moving through the Senate to the House. The legislative session is supposed to wrap up April 29th. A FedEx cargo plane on its way to Indianapolis made an emergency landing Saturday at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey after a bird strike caused an engine fire. The incident was captured on audio by Live ATC, led to the plane returning to the airport with the engine damaged. All 3 people on board safely evacuated the aircraft. Alex Palou takes the win at St. Petersburg to kick off the 2025 IndyCar season.
Yeah, what an amazing weekend. We had an amazing car since the start of the weekend. It was a shame that yesterday we couldn't really maximize our result in qualifying, but glad that everything worked out.
That's Palou to Fox Sports after the win. He and his Ganassi teammate Scott Dixon finished first and second, respectively. Palou looking to win his 3rd championship in a row this year. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. It's 10:04. Kendall and Indy Spanglish coming back in 1 minute.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this Trump-Zelensky thing is the gift for us that keeps on giving. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Our old pal, Jerry Lopez. Indy Spanglish on Twitter joining us today. Kev is here as well. And started last hour, we played the back and forth between Trump and Zelensky, and just what an embarrassment Zelensky was, or how embarrassed he should be. And what a great job Trump and Vance did with that in terms of saying, hey, pal, the never-ending money factory is over, and you can either end it on our terms, and we'll help you however we can, or you can end it without us, and that's not gonna go well for you. So in the wake of that, Mike Johnson, who's the Speaker of the House, was on one of these weekend shows. They're all the same, but doesn't matter which one he was on. But anyway, he says, might be time for Zelensky to go.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Lindsey Graham on Friday floated the idea that President Zelensky may need to resign in order for there to be a peace agreement. Do you agree with that statement?
Well, something has to change. Either he needs to come to his senses and come back to the table in gratitude, or someone else needs to lead the country to do that. I mean, it's up to the Ukrainians to figure that out. But I can tell you that we are re-exerting peace through strength. President Trump has brought back strength to the White House. We knew that this moment would come. We worked hard for it to come. And now it's here. But we need these parties to go along with us. And we need President Zelensky to do what is necessary. This war has drug on far too long. He's lost hundreds of thousands of people, including women and children. We've got to bring an end to it. And I think our European allies are hoping that that is the case, and we are as well.
Okay, so just to put a fine point on that, you are saying that it might be necessary for President Zelensky to step down and not Putin. Do you want to see Putin step down?
I'd like to see Putin defeated, frankly. He is an adversary of the United States.
Okay.
But in this conflict, we've got to bring an end to this war. It's in everybody's interest.
He's right.
I mean, he's not wrong at all.
I mean, you've been at this. This is not Roosevelt, in war with Germany and Japan circa 1942, right? Like, you've had your opportunity with this. You can't get it done. You're totally subservient and dependent upon other countries. And so it's time to say this will end the way it was always going to end, with Russia getting some of what it wants. The U.S. will have some sort of economic presence there, which will encourage us to stay there long term and hopefully bring greater peace to the area. But we're done here, and you can't get it done.
Yeah, and if you look around, he went on his little tour. He went to the UK. He went to different other countries. And I think the UK said, we'll give you $2 billion. $2 billion. That's not even enough to cover half of, a fourth of the things that they want to do over there. But they went on to say, with U.S. assistance. So even the UK and these other countries are going, we can do whatever we want, but the U.S. has to be involved.
All right, one more from Mike Johnson. They're trying to. You mentioned this earlier, Jerry. They're trying to say, well, if you're against Zelensky's behavior, then you're pro-Putin. You're a Russian puppet. You're a propagandist. You're a pet from the Kremlin. Johnson said, nah, Putin wasn't the winner out of this, and Zelensky's behavior is to blame for what happened.
Was Vladimir Putin the winner here, Mr. Speaker?
No, he wasn't. Listen, I have participated in a lot of bilateral meetings in my time with heads of state and other dignitaries. There's always a certain protocol that goes along with this. I've never seen anything like President Zelensky's behavior there. He berated and interrupted his host, and instead of expressing gratitude for the extraordinary help that the U.S. has provided his country and effectively helped him stay alive and stay in power. So the way that went down was very disappointing. I hope and pray, frankly, that President Zelensky will come to his senses, come back to President Trump, express gratitude as he should, apologize for his behavior there, and accept this mineral rights deal, because that is the best way for us to get to a point of peace over there in that region, and it's in the interest of both countries.
Yeah, we got to take a break because we've got a big segment coming up next, but that's important to point out. This thing fell apart the other day because Zelensky doesn't want to give up the mineral deal without some sort of never-ending commitment, basically, from the U.S. to fight this war. And Trump's like, we're not doing that. We will, and the Trump proposal is reasonable. It's going to end the way it's going to end. We're not giving you ground troops. We're not giving you any more money. We've given you hundreds of billions. We want our money back. You can't pay it back. So we will take it back. Oh, and we'll also have a presence, an economic presence there, which means Russia will be de-incentivized to do anything. So you're going to give up this land. We're going to be there. They're not going to go forward again, and everybody's going to be done with this. And Zelensky doesn't want that because, like you said, it's going pretty good for him right now.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't want to have elections. As soon as this deal's done, we're up for Ukrainian elections, and we'll see if they keep President Zelensky or not.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the big property tax rally coming up March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And one of our guest speakers, State Representative J.D. Prescott, is going to be here. He's on the Ways and Means Committee that is getting ready to hear the gutted Senate Bill 1 on Wednesday. So we're going to find out, what does that look like? Where's the House at? What can we do over the next couple of days? And we'll get you up to date on everything related to property tax reform. Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC.
Rare earth minerals.
It's a good deal. It's an important deal.
President Trump might sign it at the White House Friday with Ukraine's leader Volodymyr Zelensky.
To say that we're not engaged with them is just not accurate.
Another update is just minutes away.
Stripping naked and throwing underwear.
July 15th of 2023.
Indianapolis Airport federal prison time.
On the level.
Missing teenager from Beech Grove found dead.
On the go.
15-year-old Shaylee Snyder missing since February 10th.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to badsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Say goodbye to cracked, stained floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out from their many colors. Upgrade your home today like I did. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. They come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. Call now for a free estimate. 877-417-0635. They're also online at galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals for 20 years. The approach is simple. Strength train with a certified coach once a week for 20 minutes. Adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then get out there and enjoy life, because you'll be stronger and have more energy, and you're going to feel better, and you'll lose weight, and you'll probably even look better too. And you may even be able to get off of some of those prescription medications. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. The studios are private, no mirrors, no music, and no spandex. Just you and a professional coach working to reach your goals for the new year. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up for a free consultation.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Parts of the property tax bill. It's a big week. It's Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC. I'm Rob. Kev's here. Jerry Lopez in for Casey. And looking like $1 million. State Rep J.D. Prescott. Hello.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Jerry.
Morning.
It's good to be back. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Believe it or not, I was actually working in the State House. I know it's hard to believe for a legislator working, but I was there working, and that's why I was a few minutes late.
Excellent. Okay, so this is a big week. You had texted me late last week and said, hey, the Senate Bill 1, or what's left of it, is coming over to Ways and Means. You're on that committee. What is it? It's Wednesday, is that right?
That is correct. It is Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. in the Ways and Means room. That is room 404. And this is testimony only, so we'll hear the bill. Senator Holdman will present the bill, or what's left of the bill as is.
Yeah.
And we'll take testimony only. There will be no amendments or changes to the bill. It's traditional in Ways and Means that we do a hearing, and then we do an amend and vote on a later date.
All right, so how many people are on Ways and Means? How many?
There are 24 members on the committee. And then, obviously, 2/3 of that are Republican members.
Okay, all right. So overwhelmingly Republican. You're one of the people that goes to Ways and Means because you control the money. So
Correct.
There's some sort of fiscal impact to this, which is why they're talking about. All right. So a lot of people pretty depressed right now, upset, angry, don't like what the Senate did. Braun seems very optimistic that the House is going to do something that he really likes. You're obviously at the epicenter of this. What are you hearing?
Yeah, so I'm still hopefully optimistic on this one as well as we work through. Braun he wants meaningful property tax reform, and I'm right there with him. I want to help to make sure that he gets that as we're working through the committee process.
And for the record, you support Braun's reset.
I support Braun's reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that we have meaningful property tax reform. I also think it's important that not only do we need to support the tax reset, we also need to implement the farmland adjustment rate as well, that capitalization rate, move that up, because we need meaningful property tax reform, not just for homeowners, but also on ag. Communities like mine, it's the ag industry that's really feeling the pinch. Here in Indianapolis, the donut counties, it's more the residential, so it's different in each part of the state.
So on Wednesday, this will be the same thing we saw again where, like, people like Spendin Sue Finkham up there in Carmel are going to come, and maybe there'll be, I'm not saying she's going to do this since she's already said it isn't going to happen. Now, her council president doesn't appear to have his story straight on if public safety is going to get cut or not, but you'll hear the same sob stories. I mean, Greg Taylor in the Senate, now we moved on to snow plows and street lights. It'll be these local government people that are going to be telling these same ridiculous, wacky, over-the-top doomsday scenarios that we saw in the Senate, right?
Oh, that's correct. And we're already starting to get those calls from local unity government groups. My next meeting, I'm going from here to a meeting with AIM, which is Association of Indiana Municipalities.
Tell them I said hello. They're big fans of mine, JD.
I will do so.
So the people say, okay, we'll get to the property tax rally in a little bit. We're going to that, but they're like, should I go to this thing? Is it like not me, but should people go? I mean, it's so hard because these government people are getting paid to go.
Mm-hmm.
Their job as a mayor, you're getting paid. You go. That's your job. People are like, dude, I gotta work, right? Like I gotta. And this is what was frustrating for people on the Senate side. We send all these emails, we make all these phone calls, but people can't. Like, so should people go? If they can, what should people do?
Yeah, absolutely. People should go to the hearing and let their voice be heard. So every industry has a lobbyist. But as an everyday citizen, as a taxpayer, we are supposed to be your lobbyist.
Right.
As a representative, as senators, we're supposed to be your lobbyist. So you need to contact us. Let us know what you'd like us to do. Show up at the hearing if you want to come and speak. Rob, I'd love to have you there just for the entertainment purposes themselves. But I also understand the position that would come with that. So we've talked about that.
Okay, so real quick. Okay, so one of the problems that we ran into with the Senate side and sending the emails was we emailed Holdman because it's too hard to email 10 people, right? And I don't think Holdman presented any of these overwhelming emails he got. If we were to email you, if we had people email you, would you be willing to present that? Can you present that? Can you say, here, House colleagues, these are the emails that I got? Because I think a lot of people are pissed off that we were kind of invested. Well, Holdman's the author. He clearly wants this thing to pass. He wants the reset. And then we find out in the hearing, it's like, well, this guy wasn't helping us really at all. Like, what should we do? How do we do this in an effective manner? I can't tell people email 15 people, but like, can we email you? What do we do?
Yeah, I'm on the committee. Feel free to email me at h33@iga.in.gov. Again, that's h33@iga.in.gov. And Rob, I'm seeing your face. I will text you that so you can put a link out.
Perfect. Very good. Very good.
Hey, so in a state that's as red as Indiana, and we like to think, oh, we're not ran by Democrats, so we're safe from taxes. We're finding out that that's not the case. So with this going to committee, what kind of timeline are we looking for in the future where maybe we may see some relief, may see some change, or at least get an answer?
Yeah, so the the bill will be, like I said, it'll be heard this week, but it could be moved out of committee any time between now and the end of the second half of session. So it could be 2 to 3 weeks. It could be as early as the following week when there's a amend and vote. I do not know what the schedule is like with the chairman. I'm actually going to have a meeting with him later today.
I bet they're going to want to get it done before the 17th. What do you bet?
I think you're right. I think they're going to want to move this fast, Rob.
Cancel it.
Okay, so you're on this committee, but like Thompson runs the show over there. What are you hearing from your colleagues? Because I've been pleasantly surprised. The House seems to have more people that are allies than the Senate did. I think about guys like you and Craig Haggard and Andrew Ireland, and there are some other people who have said quietly, "Hey, we're with you on this." The House, Houston didn't seem like this was a priority at all, but the House seems to have more people who are at least passionate about it.
There are numerous members of the House that want to make sure we provide meaningful property tax reform. Now, I don't think there's essentially a consensus on what the final product is going to look like yet. And part of that does come from the testimony this Wednesday and those discussions and how that all transpires. But yes, I do think there is more momentum on the House for meaningful property tax reform. I'm going to be honest, though. I don't see us solving the problem long term this year. I think we're still kicking the can down the road. But with that, I think we need to make sure we provide property tax relief in the short term while we continue to work on that long-term solution in the future.
J.D. Prescott, our guest, state representative, and he's on the Ways and Means Committee, which will hear the bill on Wednesday at 1:30 in room 404 at the State House. If you cannot go, J.D. has graciously said if you email him, he will present your emails. I don't think we got that the last time. He will present your emails to all of his colleagues. Let's see if I can do this from memory, right? Remember, like with the old people, they have you do the memory test. They give you the 3 things and see if you can remember in the clock. H33@iga.in.gov.
You got it.
Did I get it right?
You got it right. Good
How
job.
about that? Alzheimer's may get me eventually, but it ain't yet, right? I'm still hanging in there.
Not today.
H33@iga.in.gov. Do that today. We'll tweet it out, post it out. We'll talk about the rest of the day. Get that email to say you support Braun's property tax reset and tell a little bit of your story.
And to be fair, I'm expecting more than I'm going to be able to go through every single individual email and committee, but I will go through the numbers. This is how many I've received. This is the gist. Go through some of the highlights of them.
Very good. All right. So now you and I have been kind of talking about this. I'm torn on whether I should go because on one hand, the show that we would, because it's going to turn into a circus if I show up there. And how's it work? I get 3 minutes, and then people started saying things to me.
Yeah, depending on how many people signed up to testify, we set time limits, usually 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the number. And then yes, after that, then it's unlimited time on questions from the committee. So from my personal enjoyment and entertainment, I would love to see you there, just because I want to see the questions coming from the other side and your response. But I understand.
So I mean that's the question, right? And part of me is I want you to be able to do your work, and we're going to have a show on the 17th, right? So it's like, I don't want to people go, well, JD sent this guy over here. And so now all of his ideas are stripped out of the bill. So I don't know. All right. So let's talk about the 17th. JD Prescott's our guest state representative. We're going to have the rally 17th, 1:00 at the State House. We're asking everybody to wear green. That's St. Patrick's Day. We're asking you to wear green because you want your money back. It's also, since the angry red-shirted teachers have been so successful with red, if all you got to do is wear color-coordinated shirts, that's, we'll put that to use. You're going to speak?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Did you lose a bet? I mean, you're putting your career on the line to be publicly associated with me and Micah, and but you were the first guy to go, hey, give me some of that jelly.
Hey, you reached out and asked if I'd join, and I'd be happy to. So I'm always happy.
Are you still doing the thing about the sign? Best sign gets to come in studio with you and Casey.
So are there signs, like is a size we want to obey all rules? If you you can bring a sign into the State House.
You can bring signs. I do not know of any size limit on signs. That's a great question.
Like poster board or smaller?
Well, it's going to be I stole this from Springsteen because at his concerts, people hold signs up for songs and he'll find one he likes and then he'll go, you, come here, take the sign. So I figured the best sign, creative or whatever, gets to come in and watch a whole live taping of Kendall and Casey. So that's a surprise. Now,
I just recommend keep them clean.
Yeah, no, you got to behave. We don't want to get in any trouble. We want to be peaceful. Okay, so we got a task for you because our goal is to get 1,000 people into the State House because we are banking on our audience caring enough about their homes that they are going to show up in mass for this thing. You said you will check and see what the fire code allows in the State House, because I don't think they've ever hit the whatever the max number is.
It's happened once since I've been down there. It was actually one of the years the angry redshirt teachers were there.
Oh, the teachers did.
Yeah.
Oh, now we got to
So now
do
we
it.
have to.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
So you will check, get us a number, and then that's the number we're going to try to eclipse. But we'd really like 1,000 people. What a sight that would be, 1,000 people.
That'd be great.
Man, JD, so H33 at iga.in.gov. We'll give that out. We'll tweet that out, all of those things. You're going to hear that bill, the testimony, on Wednesday. Again, no votes that day, but people need to get their emails into you ahead of time so you kind of have that in your pocket to say, here's the things that I've heard from people.
Correct. And then after that, we will, meet as a committee and decide how we're going to move forward and go from there.
Real quick before we let you go, the bill that treats school board elections like every other election in the state cleared the Senate. You have said now, because you had that bill in the House that was likely to clear, you said that bill's so good, I'm just going to take that bill and present it.
Absolutely. And I can give you some breaking news right now.
Oh, yes.
That bill will be heard in the Elections Committee at 10:30 on Wednesday morning. So the same morning, Wednesday the 5th.
Okay.
You've got school board elections, 287 being heard at 10:30 a.m. in room 156.
Okay.
I believe 156B. So anybody that wants to come in and testify in support of that, we'd love to have you. And then you can just stay and then testify in support of meaningful property tax reform on Senate Bill 1 that afternoon.
Can they send you one email for both and say, I support the treating school board elections? Like, what's the number on the bill? The
287.
287 and SB1. Can we just kill two birds with one stone?
And that's forcing people running for school boards to designate a party, right?
That's right.
That's correct.
Like every other
As
election
they
in the state.
should.
Yeah. Well, I was pleasantly surprised the Senate got that out. I did not think they were going to do that. And you said, hey, this is such a good bill. It's already cleared. We'll just
move this one. Yeah, it works
good.
out well.
Rising star in the Republican Party. He's got future governor written all over him. J.D. Prescott, thank you, my friend. It's Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. And one of the things we love about Life Church is they're so much more than just a church. They're a community. At Life Church, the community matters greatly, not just to them, but the families that go there as well. When you make Life Church a part of your community, you surround yourself with friendly people who love God and His Word. At Life Church, there are multiple opportunities to connect, learn, and grow in your faith by immersing yourself in a godly community. There's no better place than Life Church, where the truth of the Bible is the foundation of community. Life Church makes it super simple for you with 4 campuses across Central Indiana. Learn more about everything on the web at lifechurchin.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Rain is coming this week. Nothing on radar right now, though. 34 degrees on Monument Circle with highs in the low 50s today. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:30. That is according to forecaster Cody Moore at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
So currently thinking the rain's going to start during the day on Tuesday, coming into western portions of Indiana during the morning and then spreading eastward through the evening. And then it's going to last all Tuesday night and into Wednesday.
Moore says when that rain arrives, you'll have high winds with it as well, and a wintry mix that lasts through Wednesday. The National Weather Service also says the Sierra Nevada could see around 12 inches of snow, while the Rockies and Great Basin could get as much as 24 inches in higher areas. Nearly 170 million people may see winds up to 70 miles an hour this week across the U.S. Not only were winners in the movie industry announced at the Academy Awards on Sunday, the life of the late actor Gene Hackman was honored by his friend Morgan Freeman. Freeman said Hackman told him that all he wanted was to be remembered for doing good work.
So I think I speak for us all when I say, Gene, you'll be remembered for that.
Along with starring in the movie Hoosiers, Hackman won Oscars for his roles in Unforgiven and The French Connection. Investigators are trying to figure out how Hackman and his wife died last week. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platform.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
My brother never checks on Dad, or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Jerry Lopez, our old pal. Indy Spanglish in for Casey. Just a reminder, if you missed the last segment, State Representative J.D. Prescott was on with us. He's on the Ways and Means Committee, which will hear Senate Bill 1, the gutted version of Senate Bill 1, Wednesday at 1:30, room 404 in the State House. And what JD has graciously said he will do if you cannot make it, because, see, this is the thing we're up against. It's an unfair fight. All these government people get paid to go, Spanglish. I'm the mayor. Well, I'm already getting a check. People who have to go to work can't just take off in the middle of the day. We already got them doing it once for the property tax rally, which, by the way, if you got to choose one, go to the property tax rally March 17th, which we'll talk about in a second. But he has said if you email him, and JD's email is h33@iga.in.gov. As soon as we get to the top of the hour, I'll get that up at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. And do it today if you can. h33@iga.in.gov. If you send him an email to h33@iga.in.gov and do this today and tell him you support the original version of Senate Bill 1 with the property tax reset. That is the big thing, the property tax bill reset. He will get those to his colleagues and make sure that your emails, your voice is expressed in the hearing. So send them, because we want as many of those as we can. And unlike Senate Bill 1, where we didn't really have an ally, we have a real ally in J.D. Prescott on the committee. So make sure to do that today. Also, property tax rally. Again, March the 17th, 1 p.m., Our goal is to put 1,000 people in the State House. Wear your green. We're going to have a good time. Micah's going to speak. We're going to have 3 state reps that are going to speak in support, and this will probably still be in the House by the time they speak, so that's a really big deal. Casey and I will speak. Hammer's going to MC, and then we may have, maybe, one more special guest. I'm not going to promise anything yet, but we're working very hard. But you've got to get people, and it's not just enough for you to go. You got to bring people with you. You got to say, I'm going to bring 5 people. You don't have to physically bring them with you, but be responsible for 5 people getting to the State House.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us out here feel like the people that we're voting for, once they get elected, they stop listening to us.
Right.
Right, so this is your opportunity to go to them and be heard.
The reason we did this, a couple of reasons, and apparently we have to keep saying this because some people just don't understand. One, the lawmakers aren't there on the weekends, so there's no point in doing anything on the weekends. The media also doesn't cover things like, for the most part, on the weekends, or people aren't watching television or engaging with the media outlets like they are during the week. We're going to get a lot of media coverage because of this. 2, the lawmakers they're not there. We want to be able to have the opportunity, not only for you to be able to make sure you're heard, which you will be heard, right? They're going to be there conducting official state business. They will hear you, but maybe you're going to see some of these people, and you can say something to them directly in a polite, peaceful manner. And the third thing is, it's St. Patrick's Day. We're doing the green color coordination thing because we want our money back. That ties into it. And 4, there's going to be tons of people that are going to be downtown anyway. We have a built-in potential customer base to get people to come over there and be a part of this.
You're kind of paying for your drink or your beverage of choice ahead of time.
Yeah.
Go down here and protest, and then just walk around and have a great holiday.
So that's what's going on with that. All right. So Bill Murray was on Rogan. And Kev, are you a Rogan guy, Spanglish?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so both of you can speak to this more than I can. It's pretty rare that he gets like a big mainstream star, right? Like, I mean, he'll get comedians. He'll get, like a Jesse Ventura type of guy. It's pretty rare, though. Like
a movie star.
Brad Pitt is not going on the Joe Rogan Experience.
No.
And Murray, I get he's a little wacky. He's a pretty mainstream movie star, right?
Yeah, usually Rogan, a lot of times he'll just have people in his inner circle on the show. But it was funny because Bill Murray was telling Rogan that he wasn't really familiar with him or his podcast. I thought that was kind of funny.
Somebody told me this years ago that had some interaction somehow with Bill Murray, and I can't remember what the exact story was. But they said Bill Murray has, and I'm doing air quotes here, lost countless amounts of money and roles over the years because apparently there were years, and I have no idea if this is still a thing or not, where allegedly he just had a voicemail set up where if you wanted something, like you couldn't reach him and he didn't want to be bothered, and he just had a voicemail set up where if you wanted a role or something, you had to call this voicemail thing and leave a message, and he would just go long periods of time without checking it. And so there's a whole bunch of roles that people wanted him for and, big money opportunities, but he's just like, I'd rather go to the Cubs game or go play in the golf
I'd like
tournament.
to hear that because I bet there's some really awesome roles that people reached out to him for.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who told me that. I mean, it was somebody who had some working knowledge of how he all works. So he's a very eclectic guy. But he went on Rogan and he went out. Now he's going at Bob Woodward specifically. Bob Woodward was the guy along with Carl Bernstein, All the President's Men, the famous movie with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford that took down Richard Nixon. And then Bob Woodward for 50 years now has lived off being the guy who took down Nixon, and he's gotten all this access and written all these books. And I have long pondered this because Trump gave Woodward access, and it bit him in the ass in the first presidency. It's like, why do people keep lining up to this guy, especially conservatives or conservative commentators? He's not your friend. He's pushing a narrative. And Murray is talking about this, and he's sort of he's directed at Woodward, but you can tell he's kind of talking about the media in general, about the dirty job Woodward did. Woodward wrote Wired, which was the book about John Belushi, and then I think they made it into a movie after that as well. Okay. And it's not really a very flattering look at Belushi, and Murray is talking about Wired.
When I read Wired, the book written by, Woodward, about Belushi, I read like 5 pages of Wired, and I went, oh my God, they framed Nixon. like all of a sudden I went, oh my God, if this is what he writes about my friend that I've known, for half of my adult life, which is completely inaccurate, talking to like the people of the outer circle getting the story, what the hell could they have done to Nixon? I just felt like if he did this to my friend like this, and I acknowledge I only read 5 pages, but the 5 pages I read, made me want to set fire to the whole thing.
Jamie, see if you can
Those
find
5 pages, I went, if he did this to Belushi, what he did to Nixon is probably soiled for me too. I can't take it. And I know you say, well, you could have 2 sources and everything like that, but the 2 sources that he had, if he had them for the Wired book, were so far outside the inner circle that it was criminal, cruel.
And it's so weird to hear Bill Murray being serious. Like the whole time he's talking, you expect there to be he's one of those guys, it's almost like Jim Carrey or whatever, where you think there's just going to be some joke at the end of it. But he's being very serious that, hey, this was my friend. I knew this guy. I knew what happened. Belushi's been dead for 43 years or whatever it's been, 41 years. He has no reason to lie about it at this point. Everybody around Belushi, many people, I should say, around Belushi are gone too. He has no reason to lie. And he's saying, look, that didn't happen. He straight up made it up. So what else are these guys or they're getting it wrong? They're like, what else are they getting wrong?
Well, the issue that those people that are writing books like that are going to run into today is the good old internet. And a lot of us can find our own information.
Yep.
The problem is that back in the day, you didn't have another source or an independent source to go get it from. So it makes you wonder how many times books went out and people just took it for gospel.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Okay, real quick, the Gene Hackman stuff is super weird, isn't it?
Very weird.
So now, if you are not keeping up to date on this, initially he passes away. His wife is also found dead. The dog is found dead in New Mexico, Santa Fe. They say no signs of foul play, and you're like, well, okay, then carbon monoxide poisoning is the only thing it could be, and they just treated it like that's some super common thing. Yeah. Clearly, it's not. People are not dropping dead. I mean, it does happen, but who's the highest profile person ever dropped dead from carbon monoxide poisoning? Weird Al Yankovic's parents? I mean, I'm not trying to
can't name one.
I'm not trying to be crass. I'm just saying they treated it like it was some super normal thing, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but whatever. They're the authorities. Well, now it's come out. They've said it was not carbon monoxide poisoning. So now you have 2 people who are dead separate from each other. The dog is also dead. How did the wife end up dead? She's
63.
Yeah, I mean, Gene Hackman was 95. He could have killed over dead at any moment, and nobody would have been like, ooh, that's suspicious. But how does she end up dead? There's, again, apparently pills scattered all over the place.
So the story comes out, we find out he's dead. Everybody's saying R.I.P. Gene Hackman, R.I.P. And then come to find out that the last activity on his pacemaker was 10 days ago.
Yeah, so he had been dead for basically over a week. Also, then the question is, I believe he has multiple living children. If your father is 95 years old and still living a somewhat, independent life, wouldn't you be on a day or two? And he's been married to this woman for 30 plus years. It's not like they don't know her. It's not like she was Anna Nicole Smith.
Right.
Wouldn't you be calling and going, hey, Dad, how are you doing? I mean, the idea that they went this long. I mean, I text with my parents multiple times every single day.
Yep.
And now, granted, I live very close to them, so I see them most days. But
in the basement?
I do not live in the basement. I live close to the basement, but not in the basement. But the point is, what is going on here where this guy has been dead for well over a week, it appears? And what about her? Does she not?
What about the dog? So let's just.
But wait. But doesn't she have any friends or family? Everybody's talking about him. Yeah. What about her? Yeah. Did you how long was she dead for? This is crazy. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
So they found him. Pacemaker says 10 days ago. So we'll just say he had a heart attack or some kind of issue. They find her in the bathroom with pills all over the ground. So so maybe she was going to get his pills and fell. But how'd the dog die then?
Yeah. I mean, it's
the carbon monoxide made sense. That was an easy catch for everybody. It was a harmless.
But they just treated it like it was some super common thing. Like people are dropping dead all the time of carbon monoxide poisoning. It was I don't know. By the way, did you see Randy Quaid, cousin Eddie?
Yeah,
came out and said Gene Hackman was murdered. And he's a little wacky.
He's never left that Cousin Eddie role.
But at this point, so he said, quote, Gene Hackman and his wife are murder victims. Some scumbags did it and staged it. Stop talking about the film he is in. This is how they get away with murdering famous people. Fake news starts generating film clips. How is it possible? I know at least 6 people have died like Carradine, Hackman, Ledger. So, hey, look, at this point, all conspiracy theories seem somewhat logical to me based on what we've seen with Trump. So who knows? All right, Hammer's next. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, broadcasting live at Woodland Bowl, starting at 3. It's Red, White, and Bowl, presented by Jack Daniels. It's
You love spring and Indy, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back? Hey guys, it's Rob. It's March, and that means spring is right around the corner. And this spring, you can make your yard look great after some tough winter weather by calling my friends from Save a Tree. Last week, Sean from Save a Tree came out to my house, and man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more pleased with the free consultation. I know by the time they get done, Save a Tree is going to have my yard thriving, and I can't wait to enjoy it all summer long. Save a Tree is the tree, shrub, and lawn experts, and March is the perfect time to get started on planning for your yard in 2025. It could be one of the best home upgrades you've ever made. See how beautiful your yard can be. Set up your own evaluation at saveatree.com. That's SAVATREE.com. SAVATREE.com. Or dial pound 250 on your smart device and say the keyword Save a Tree. That's pound 250 keyword Save a Tree. Or saveatree.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study.
Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Steve Martin and Martin Short, Saturday, October 25th at Old National Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Oh, man, we had a wild and wacky weekend. Let's talk about it. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob Kevs here. Jerry Lopez in for Casey. Hammer, hello.
So in the past, you and I have been invited to a random listener's graduation open house.
Which we
attended.
went.
We attended.
We drank a lot.
We've been invited to random listener's wedding, which we attended.
Yeah, we drank a lot.
We drank a lot. And this past weekend, you and I were invited to a very fancy, schmancy black tie gala, the Damar Services event on Saturday.
Which we went.
And we drank a lot.
So this was what a cool event. So our buddy Steve, who's a big listener of WIBC, works one of the big muckety mucks there at Damar. He's a big fan, and he was like, man, when we were going to those people's things, like, it'd be cool to have Rob and Hammer sit at my table. And we'd never met Steve in person before, but he's a big WIBC fan. Our wives went. I actually knew one of the other people, Andrew from Terre Haute, who we sat at the table as well. And man, what a fun time.
Raised a ton of money for Damar that night, and the entertainment was top notch, right? So the evening opens with a performance from the dude that won America's Got Talent. You know, he sang The Journey hits.
Terre Haute guy.
Terre Haute janitor, yes, yeah.
And then at the end of the evening, after all the fundraising, after all the boozing, we had two stand-up comedy sets, one by David Spade, one by Dana Carvey.
Oh, wow. And then they came up together at the end. And then you had a run-in with Spade at the Starbucks in the morning. Is that right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What happened?
Man, you could tell he just wanted to get his coffee. Didn't really want to be bothered. I'm not going to be that dude, right?
Did people recognize him when he was down there? Were people?
No, like it was a weird group. So I saw David Spade. This is the JW Marriott,
right?
David Spade, Sean Payton of the Broncos.
Oh wow, because the combine, yeah.
And Drew Rosenhaus, the super agent.
I would most like to hang out with Rosenhaus. I feel like he would have the best stories.
The real life inspiration for Bob Sugar in the movie Jerry Maguire.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Boy, what a fun time. You did this a couple years ago. Our buddy Scott Long was kind of heading up some of that stuff, and there was a big. Was it the Marat? So where we had that big stand-up comedy event, and we went to that a couple years ago, and so I was a little familiar with Damar, but man, I learned a lot about what they do, helping.
It's a great organization.
Oh yeah, helping people with disabilities and special needs kind of adapt into society. And man, what a great organization.
Yeah, and made some donations, had a lot of drinks, and I thought the comedy sets were great. Now, I've seen Dana Carvey do stand-up before. I'd never seen David Spade do a traditional stand-up set before. Now, he's funny, like in movies and interviews, but I've never seen like a 15, 20-minute stand-up set. And I thought he was great.
Yeah, what's interesting is he is that dude in those movies with Farley. I mean, he's not acting. Clearly, like that's just his persona. That's what he is. That's what he does. And there was some sort of after party. We had to skedoodle on out because we have a kid at home. But no, we did not leave the kid at home by herself. She had my parents came over and watched her.
We left her, a hot pocket on the table and a water bowl.
But there was some sort of big shindig afterwards, right?
There was a little bit of an after party thing going on. So we attended that for just a little bit. But at that point, I was ready to check out.
I am too cheap to pay for the valet parking, so I park at the radio station and then walk over. I'd like to thank you for making sure no one abducted my wife.
Right. Like, how are you leaving your wife unattended downtown Indianapolis?
You were there. You were there. I mean, like, what was something going to happen to her? I mean, all she got to do, it's the JW Marriott. It's not like it's, the La Quinta Inn somewhere. No offense. I'm sure the La Quinta Inn is fine. This is the first hotel I thought of. What's the one over in the Beach Grove area where we used to have the baseball card show? Was that La Quinta where they used to have those all the time?
Oh, there's a couple of them.
They were very upstanding institutions.
There used to be a Motel 6 back there that was a staple on Live PD.
Rooms by the hour.
And then last night you were back in action with the Indy Fuel.
Yep, I was the MC, the hype guy. So one of the great voices in PA is David Pigman. He's the PA guy. He's also the PA guy for the Indians.
Pigman?
Yeah, Pygman. The Pigman.
The Pigman.
He's awesome. He's also in a barbershop quartet, which we had on for Valentine's Day, and they did a great rendition of Nigel Sucks. But he's so good at what he does. I would listen to this dude read just like the omnibus bill. So my job is just keep the crowd going, be the hype guy, be the big carny, and I feel like I can do that.
Yeah, and then one other thing I want to touch on, your bowling event was Friday. That was a great event, man.
We missed Jerry this year. Jerry was there last year.
We ended up going to Joy Coy. Joe Coy had a stand-up show over at Clues, so went there for the first time Friday night, unfortunately.
Oh, that was more important to you than helping charity. I see.
Look, I am a vet, so thank you for the assistance, but I did my part. Thanks for bowling for us.
And then the highlight for many people was me Ubering Nigel home and Nigel getting more inebriated as the alcohol set in during the trip home.
That was a great Facebook Live. Like, it's like dark, the camera's shaky. Everything that would sum up Nigel after a night of drinking is right there.
And my favorite thing is, so it took about 20, 25 minutes to get him home. And when he gets in the car at first, he's still somewhat together. I mean, he drank, quite a bit. And by the time, about 10 minutes in, you could tell it started to kick in and the words start slurring and the segments aren't moving together quite. Turn, left.
He became the liquor 10 minutes in.
I'm laying in bed going, oh, they're live? Oh, my God. And all I see is Rob's face every now and then. When they go past a light, you just see the side of Rob's face.
What's coming up this afternoon?
So the new GOP president from Marion County, Natalie Goodwin's going to join us. We've got some questions for her. Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford. And we'll see how Nige was feeling the day after.
All right. It's Kendall Casey Show. Lopez in for Casey, 93 WIBC.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest-to-goodness wireless price right. Dial pound 250, you say the keywords Pure Talk, claim your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, which is America's wireless company. Visit puretalk.com for details.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Ready for better sleep? Now is your chance during the March mattress sale. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, King Coil, Bed Gear, and Nectar mattresses, you can save up to $800 with up to 4 years interest-free financing. And don't forget, Thompson Furniture delivers for free. Hurry! Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the weather in Indiana often changes, and that's happening again this week. You'll hear how. Honda could be shifting some of its production to Indiana. You'll hear why. And what could be happening with the second half of the legislative session that starts today. Those stories and more after Fox News on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 11 o'clock.
He has support from European leaders. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. And after weekend meetings in London where they came up with an outline for peace in the fight against Russia, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said he wants to work something out with the U.S. after Friday's White House meeting with President Trump to sign a minerals deal fell apart in a public argument.
From our side, we are ready to sign. I honestly think the United States will be ready as well. Maybe they need time to analyze some things.
But Fox's Jared Halpern reports from the White House.
White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz says it became clear to him Friday that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was not ready to talk about a peace deal with Russia.
But here's the problem. Time is not on his side. Time is not on the side of just forever continuing this conflict. The American people's patience is not unlimited. Their wallets are not unlimited.
Now, President Trump may talk about Ukraine and Russia tomorrow night when he addresses a joint session of Congress, but there could be some empty seats.
As you've got some high-profile Democrats thinking it may be best just to skip the event altogether. Axios reporting that nearly a dozen House and Senate Democrats are either leaning against attending the speech or undecided. One Democrat who will be there, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The 84-year-old says Democrats should attend so they can show united opposition to any potential changes to Social Security, Medicaid, or Medicare. You may remember Pelosi generated a lot of attention for tearing up Trump's State of the Union speech back in 2020. Trump at the time called it disrespectful.
Fox's Mark Meredith. Wildfires keep burning in the Carolinas, but over the weekend, firefighters got more containment in Myrtle Beach and other areas. Doug Wood with the South Carolina Forestry Commission tells Fox no buildings have burned, no one's been injured.
It's amazing that we've been as fortunate as we have.
This is breaking news out of Illinois. Just before opening statements at his trial this morning, Robert Cremo III, the man accused of killing 7 people in a 2022 shooting spree at the Highland Park 4th of July parade, has changed his plea to guilty on all murder and attempted murder charges. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Colder air moves in Wednesday. As for now, we're up to 39 degrees in downtown Indy under a mostly cloudy sky. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:02. If there's enough moisture in Indiana, snow could follow. Ryan Hedrick reports.
If it does snow that day, it'll be light, says Cody Moore at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
We're not really looking at much accumulation at all.
How about impacts to your roads?
Any travel concerns for the week would likely be Thursday morning when you're falling into the upper 20s and the roads are wet and there's still a chance for snow. Things can get a little icy.
And Moore says by the end of the week, all this will be a distant memory because we'll have highs in the 50s. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC. Mobile News.
Truck driver Bruce Mendenhall is a convicted serial killer. He will be sentenced today. He's been found guilty of killing a woman in Indiana nearly 2 decades ago. Mendenhall faces up to 65 years in prison and has been convicted in other murder cases in Tennessee. Honda supposed to move production of its next Civic hybrid car to Indiana due to possible tariffs. That's according to Reuters, which cited people familiar with the matter. The car maker had been set to produce the cars in Mexico. President Trump has set a 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada will go into effect tomorrow. Honda plans to begin the building of the new Civic model in Indiana starting in May of 2028. The second half of the 2025 legislative session starts today. State Representative Matt Lehman of Burns says they got a lot accomplished in the first half.
Legislation we passed in the House goes now to the Senate for discussion, and we will consider bills the Senate has passed to us.
689 bills were filed, 179 passed out of the House House on the third reading. The legislative session supposed to end in late April. The Indiana Pacers hit 19 three-pointers in their 127-112 win over the Chicago Bulls Sunday night. Pacer guard Aaron Nesmith hit 6 of them after the win. He discussed what made it all possible.
It's all reps. The more reps you get, the more, playing time you get, the game slows down, you get better. And it's also a credit to teammates finding me and putting me in good positions.
The Pacers have won 3 of their last 4. They've got the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 7. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 11:04, Kendall and Jerry coming back in 1 minute.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and a 96% customer satisfaction rating, the highest in the industry, it's no wonder. Here are real stories, real results from satisfied Window Nation customers.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Our Window Nation consultant, Daniel, was a 10 out of 10. They would not give up until they designed windows with safe, pure, and efficient material. Window Nation is amazing, legit, and affordable.
Window Nation's highly durable, energy-efficient, customizable windows are built to last a lifetime. Right now, get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy. Pay no interest for 2 full years. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a fast in-home free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION. 866-90-NATION.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
So is Elon Musk trying to do too much too fast? A guy who knows a thing or two about cutting government and reforming government says yes. It's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Jerry Lopez, our old pal. Indy Spanglish on Twitter is here. Kev's here. Before we get to that, just a couple of reminders, some things that we want everybody to know about. The hearing, the gutted Senate Bill 1 now goes to Ways and Means in the House. That hearing is at 1:30 on Wednesday in room 404 at the State House. We had State Representative J.D. Prescott, who's on Ways and Means, is a big supporter of Braun's bill reset plan. And so he said, hey, if you can go, because these mayors and all these other people are going to be there with the sob story. But if you cannot go, he has said, and this is big for us, that unlike with the Senate where we're like, well, I guess, we don't really have an advocate over here, so send them all to Holdman and maybe he'll tell somebody. JD has graciously said if you send him an email, he will share those emails with his colleagues on Ways and Means as a part of this hearing, the public testimony hearing. So JD's email, and again, do this today because we want to give him plenty of time. We'll give it out tomorrow as well, but do it today. Just send him an email. Say, look, hey, I live here. My property tax bills have gone up X amount. I support Braun's bill reset. I think the local governments can do with the last blah, blah, blah. Have a nice day. His email is h33 at iga.in.gov. So that's h33 at iga.in.gov. I also have it posted at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter if you want to see that email again for yourself. So send those out today so that he can get those to the colleagues on the Ways and Means ahead of the hearing there on Wednesday or during the hearing on Wednesday. Also, just a reminder, March 17th, we are attempting to do the biggest thing that has ever been done in the history of the Indiana State House, and that is this property tax rally. March the 17th, 1 p.m. Wear your green shirt. Come make some noise. We're going to have great speakers. Micah's going to speak. We got 3 state reps right now. We're working on, we think maybe we're going to get a senator to speak. Casey and I are going to speak. And then I'm working on maybe trying to get a special guest for everyone to be determined. But the point is, this is our opportunity, Spanglish. This is the Custer's last stand of the property tax fight. They are banking on us failing. They don't believe in you. That these guys, and I've heard this all the time, that, well, yeah, you have a lot of listeners, but you can't mobilize. Yeah, you've got all these, because it used to be nobody listens, but then obviously they see the ratings and they know tens and tens of thousands of people are listening. So their new thing now is, well, you have listeners, but what else do they have to listen to? You can't mobilize people to do anything. You can't get people to, they're not engaging. They're banking on this failing so they can go, see, it wasn't all that big a deal. See, people didn't really want it that bad. This is your opportunity. If you are pissed off about the last 4 years with your property taxes going up, if you're pissed off about how dismissive these guys were to you in the Senate, if you're pissed off about people like Scott Baldwin and Brett Clark having relationships or running, in the case of Baldwin, these construction management companies that these companies make huge money off government contracts, funded a lot of times with property tax dollars, and then voting to screw you and protect these entities, whatever you're pissed off about, March the 17th at 1 p.m. is your chance to go and have your voice heard. If you don't show up, this thing ain't gonna pass.
Yeah, and the other good part about this is it's nonpartisan.
Right.
Right? Property taxes affect people that voted Democrat and people that voted Republican as well. So bring your neighbor who maybe you don't see eye to eye on because your property taxes are affecting both of us. This is not abortion. This is not gay rights. This is property taxes. It doesn't care who you voted for. They went through the roof.
Now, JD's going to get us what the fire code is for the State House, and my goal is to get more people than that. We'd love to have 1,000 people. I think we can do that. And I'd love to see the thing overflow onto the streets. I'm realistic, but I know people got to work, and I get all that, but take it off. Like, this is because here is my pledge to you and why this is so important. So this is about even more than property taxes, because this is a stand where what happens here will affect what we're able to do going forward. And if you mobilize at the State House on March the 17th at 1 p.m., and we can, in a show of force of 1,000 or more people, make the walls of that State House shake. One, it will give ammo to get the thing done, which we want. But two, it will give us ammo going forward, whether it's next year with, say, the gasoline tax or income taxes. So think of this as it's an investment, Lopez, that is much bigger than just the property tax bill. If this flames out and it doesn't work, you're
not going to be taken serious at all.
No, right. Yeah. The people. They don't take you serious. This is your opportunity. And if you don't engage on this one, we've told you, we have been right the entire way on how this thing was going to go from the middle of last year when Micah Beckwith won at convention. And we have been right on everything from it being gutted and taken out and all opportunities. I'm telling you, if you show up in force, we have a good chance of getting something really good, and it will embolden us for next year and for future years to be able to get these meaningful things done, because then they know we're not screwing around. Then they know you're out there. Then they know you are willing to show up and engage. And so go ahead and mark that on your calendars. All right. Interesting article in Politico by Adam Wren and Shia Kapos. And it's kind of the feature is Mitch Daniels and talking to him about what, and some other governors, former governors, about what Elon Musk is doing and if it's going to actually work. Now, many people, it's been a while now, it's been 25 years or more, but many people may not know that Mitch Daniels was a part of the first Bush administration. He was not there super long, but he was the OMB director. He was the Office of Management and Budget, and his nickname was the Blade, because he very early on, and then obviously the 9/11 and Iraq War and all that stuff happened, and any sort of government accountability just flew out the window. But he was very into, and you saw this when he was governor, in terms of taking, a $700 million deficit, and then it became a $2 billion surplus, and people were getting money back. And Mitch Daniels was very good at finding ineffective or inefficiencies in government and correcting those. And so they were talking to him about what Elon Musk is doing. And I think Mitch Daniels is, I think he appreciates what he's trying to do and the sentiment of it. I think he thinks Elon Musk is going about this the wrong way. Here's the quote. "I certainly would have cautioned against throwing out a number that's just preposterous," Daniels told Politico of the $2 trillion Musk has set as a benchmark for Doge savings. "There's a real value in an effort like this because they illuminate the fact that the government does a lot of very silly or unnecessary or even counterproductive things, but I would have urged that they go achieve some real success first, then talk more, do less." And I think this is an interesting debate to have, because what Musk is doing is essentially he's taking a machete to the federal government, or he's trying to. And that's okay, but the reality is this is not going to get fixed by Doge itself. Until you change the way the Congress operates, and just look at this new budget they're proposing with Trump and the tax cuts. They're still adding another $4.5 trillion to the debt. In the short term, it's $20 trillion over 10 years. They're still spending the money. So Doge can find $100 billion, but if the Congress keeps reallocating for bad stuff, it doesn't matter what Doge finds. And I think that's what Mitch Daniels did, and I had forgotten about this, and this is in the article. It's a really good article over at Politico that you should read. When Mitch Daniels became governor, he took a bunch of automobiles that he didn't believe were being used, and he took a penny and he put them on the tires of those automobiles. And then like a month later, he came back, and any automobile that still had the penny on it, he made them be auctioned off because he said, we're not using these. We have no use for them. This is money that could go to the taxpayers. They're a waste. Those are the sort of things that when people see that and they go, oh my gosh, look at this. And then you start to coalition build people to say, well, clearly there's more of this. You know that there's...
I think that was the write an email thing. I think that was, we're going to send an email. We're going to see who even checks their email.
Yeah, right. But the problem is when you go so big and you're trying to hit so many targets at once, it's hard to keep all the hens in the hen house, right? Because you're going to pick something that this group of senators wants to protect.
Right.
And you're going to pick something that this group of senators wants to protect.
There's people putting holes in the hen house while you're trying to keep everything intact.
And so now when you've got all of these things versus, like he's saying, get the high-hanging fruit, show that to people, and then go, okay, we found the first 100, we found the first 20 billion. Now we're going for another 20 billion. And I think that there is wise advice in what Mitch Daniels is talking about, because people forget in government that you have to coalition build for stuff that is meaningful. And I think it's going to be very hard for Elon Musk and Trump to coalition build around, although I don't think Trump cares at all about spending.
Right.
I don't think
Trump
cares
But here's
at all.
my question to you. Would it be easier if it wasn't Trump and it wasn't Musk? If it was DeSantis and some no-name person doing this, would you get more people in tow?
Well, this is one of the things that they talk about. Like, what if Mitch Daniels had been the guy instead of Elon Musk?
Yeah, people wouldn't be so offended.
Like, and I remember when Mitch Daniels was considering running for Senate against Jim Banks. And they did this, Banks people did this huge hit thing on Mitch Daniels because they clearly knew Daniels would mop the floor with him, and they didn't want him running because, as Jim Banks showed when he refused to debate, and then the state party got kicked off the ballot, that they know Jim Banks would fold if he had any meaningful competition against. It's why he won't debate. It's why they want to kick people off the ballot. They don't want competition. But one of the things that I was laughing about, and look, Mitch Daniels did some things I don't agree with. I do not agree with the way they funded Lucas Oil Stadium. I think that was egregious. But if you look at the position of the state, the state was in before Mitch Daniels started and when it ended, Indiana was infinitely better.
Yeah,
infinitely
no
better.
disagreement whatsoever.
Now, high tax and Pence have screwed it up, and we're kind of back in the same position in many ways. But it was like laughable to me. Mitch Daniels' establishment. Mitch Daniels, there was not a government that Mitch Daniels didn't want to find and want to try to reform or cut. And building those relationships in Washington, D.C. is how you get that done. So it will be interesting to see how far Musk can get. I think Mitch is right in the sense of the lawsuits are a waste of time. It is unproductive. It makes it hard to get anything done while these things are tied up in the courts. And if you could find these things and start cobbling them together in coalition building on 10 million here, 10 million or 10 billion here, 10 billion there. Now you've got the freight train running, and it makes it much harder if this is a 6-month proposition where you're up to 50 or 70 billion over 6 months, and then you go big versus what you have now.
But is this the art of the deal where I say I want $3 trillion and we both settle on 2, which is way more than what I wanted anyway?
Yeah.
You feel better about it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Trump is essentially selling citizenship into this country. Is it something we should consider? It sounds like they're going to do it regardless. We'll talk about it next. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
No matter where you head on your commute, Matt Bear is there. Paris.
Les Champs-Élysées sont un véritable parking ce matin.
Warsaw.
W drodze do pracy, wyjdź trochę wcześniej.
Or Brazil.
Temos bisbilhotice no Rio de Janeiro. Não haja como turista.
Matt, these are all cities in Indiana.
Oh, That makes my job easier.
Making your commute easier. Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text MAINE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text MAIN to 321-321. That's MAINE to 321-321.
Matt Bear here. Those heavy spring rains are right around the corner. Make sure you're ready for them with a free roof inspection from my friends at Cochran Exteriors. Notice a musty smell inside your attic, shingles curling, or have a leaky problem area? It's time to get it done. Call Cochran Exteriors for a free, no obligation consultation with options to meet your budget with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Get scheduled now before the spring brush. Visit CochranExteriors.com.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research. They make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
So Trump is kind of proposing selling citizenship to the U.S. What do we think about this? And is it really all that much different from what we do now? It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Kev's here. Casey's out today. Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish on Twitter, is in for Casey today. So have you seen that Trump has proposed, he says he's going to do it, these gold cards? You seen this?
Yeah, it's pretty, well, I mean, I've heard of it. It's pretty cool. And we kind of do something like that already, but yeah.
Okay, so currently we have, and I've learned a lot over the past several months. We have this EB-5 program, which basically kind of sells access into the country anyway, in which it's a green card, but it is given to people with certain guarantees of financial investment. Like you have to put, I think, $1 million in, and you have to have 10 employees in a business. And basically what they're saying is, unlike green cards that are, for married or whatever, if you're coming to this country and you're going to put capital into the country, we're willing to essentially express line you to be able to stay here. And what Trump has said, and we're going to play you a clip of this here in just a minute, is this system is set up for so much waste, fraud, and abuse where, somebody's got to do an analysis. Are they hiring the people? Who are the people? A lot of people who are coming, it turned out, were then related to the people who were working. They weren't necessarily being totally honest. He said, wait a second. This is complete crap. Why don't we just charge a fee? You pay, you come, right? So you don't get to be a citizen of the country, but you can live and work and whatever in this country. And Trump has said the fee is $5 million. Now, here is Trump. And the second voice you're going to hear is the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, talking about this goal, getting rid of the EB-5 program and replacing it with the gold card. It's a little bit longer than what we normally play, but I think it's super interesting. I'm going to be fascinated to get your take on it.
We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks, Howard? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Mr. President, are there
Wait a
any
minute.
requirements for that gold card? Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So the EB-5 program was really, you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
Okay, so this sounds like a much better program. We're cutting through all the red tape. More money is going to come into the country. So it sounds like this is a better program than what we had before. But the question, Spanglish, is should we be selling access to become a citizen of this country or be able to live in this country? I mean, we're basically rewarding, saying if you have money, you are better than somebody else. And maybe that's life, right? I mean, I guess that is life.
I understand what you're saying, but essentially the Democrats have sold access to this country for votes over the past however many years, right?
True, right?
Don't charge you anything. Just come right in. We'll pay you. Just vote our way. I have no problem with this, and there's multiple countries that do this as well, like the UK, Spain, Greece, Malta. Canada's one of them. This is nothing new. If it was 1 million, and here's a little background. So the EB-5 is in place until 2027 regardless. All right, so this isn't going to change immediately. They need congressional approval to change that. Trump has said he doesn't need Congress to create this, so I'm ready to see what that fight's going to look like.
Yeah, like I said, it sounds like this program is cutting out a lot of the shenanigans, which is good. I look at it and go, if you're a person who wants to be an American citizen, I'm talking about the people who really want to be here, right? You really want to assimilate. I mean, you are the product of immigrants, right? I mean,
this is fast tracking.
Yeah.
But you could still, my mom could still come, right? But this is fast tracking business.
If you have money.
Well,
Your parents ain't
no,
getting
they're
fast
still
track.
part of the lottery. They're not going to get rid of like the regular visas for people.
Yeah, but I'm saying these people are basically getting the express line at the airport. If you got 5 million.
I mean, they get the express line anyway, Rob.
Well, that's my point, right? All right. Hey, we got to take a break. When we come back, some interesting things going on with mortgage rates. And, boy, I'll tell you what, it's the economy is, I'm not going to say teetering, but we definitely need some foundational work. It's the Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A combination of several things. I'm John Herrick, and this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Rain is supposed to move into Indiana on Tuesday, but that might not be the only thing you see.
After that cold front comes through, I wouldn't be surprised to see rain changing over to snow Wednesday afternoon and evening, and then into Wednesday night. We're not really looking at much accumulation at all.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service says temperatures will warm up, though, as the week goes on. Pope Francis is stable and now off ventilation. In an update this morning, the Vatican said the pontiff rested well all night. Francis suffered a respiratory crisis on Friday, but he does not have any new infections. He's been in the hospital for more than 2 weeks with bronchitis and pneumonia. And SpaceX is making another effort to launch its Starship rocket today on a test flight. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at We Grow Hair Indie. You know, 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago now, in fact, I made the choice to get my confidence back by heading over to We Grow Hair Indie. Yeah, it was January of 2021. And it's sort of like the Jelly of the Month Club. It's the gift that keeps on giving all year long. Yeah, when you head over to We Grow Hair Indie, here's how it works. This is how easy it is. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. You'll schedule a totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, they'll take a look at what's going on the top of your head, and then they're going to give you some options, some things that might work for you. You make the call. It really is that simple. In the meantime, you can head over to WeGrowHairIndie.com. WeGrowHairIndie.com. See some other folks who have made that choice to get their confidence back and scheduled their totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation with We Grow Hair Indie. WeGrowHairIndie.com, 317-522-2995. Be sure to tell them Rob sent you.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy efficient windows? During the Universal Windows Direct tax time sale, you can save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. So here's the deal. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free, and there's no limit. Plus, boy, what a deal this is. Pay no interest until 2030. That's right, no interest for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. Oh, and on top of that, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Whether you need a few windows or a full home upgrade, this bonus savings makes now the perfect time to act. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today. Schedule your free in-home estimate, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. See it all on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
Call B Window for all your home improvement needs. From windows, doors, siding, to bathroom remodeling, the B team is happy to help you invest in your largest asset, your home. This month only, receive $400 off per window, $850 off per patio or entry door with 2.99% financing. Proud to be employee owned. Call today or visit bwindow.com.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
So mortgage rates are going down. What does that mean for us? It's Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Jerry Lopez. Indy Spanglish on Twitter, in for Casey. Kevin is here. So AP had a story that the average mortgage rate fell from 6.85% to 6.76% last week. A year ago at this time, it was averaging 6.94. Now, that may not sound like a big deal, but when you're talking, a $300,000 or $400,000 loan over the course of 30 years. Now, these are 30-year mortgage rates. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's, tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Just those little point, per fractions of a point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I told you before that it sounds great. The problem is now I can get the house, but I can't afford it every year when I get my property taxes.
Well, so we're going to get that in a second. The 15-year rate, by the way, is down from 6.04 to 5.94. Last year was 6.26. So if you're a refinancer primarily, most people do it that way. But I when we're talking about how much this has cost people in terms of the their payments, I went ahead and entered because I got in not at the super low time, but I got in before it skyrocketed. And my mortgage rate is about half of what it is now. And so I entered the same details of my payment or my circumstances into a mortgage calculator. If you just go online, you can have, and it's not an exact science. Depends on where you live,
Sure.
Property taxes, insurance, et cetera, all a little different. But it gives you a ballpark. And even now, with the reduced interest rate of 6.76, which is lower than, obviously where it was a year ago at almost 7, it's a $500 a month difference between what I'm paying and what I would pay if I took the same loan out today. $500 a month difference. Most middle-class people cannot absorb $500 a month,
No.
Jerry.
No, not only can you not afford that, but you're paying more for everything else outside the house as well.
Yeah. One of the interesting, so this must have been, man, I was still at the state. About 10 or 11 years ago, Pete the Planner, who is, you can hear Sundays here on WIBC. He's an investment guy and real good guy. He still has the Pete the Planner show here Sunday afternoons on WIBC. He did a column about renting versus buying a house. Because when I was growing up, and I think for my parents' generation and my grandparents' generation, it was like, you got to buy. If you rent, you're just throwing money away. And he did an analysis on home ownership versus renting. And even 10 years ago or 11 years ago, whenever he did this, it wasn't cut and dry, especially depending on what sort of lifestyle you wanted to live, that owning a home was necessarily a very good investment long term. When you think about all the things that potentially go into home ownership, and that was his point. He's like, don't believe just because somebody says it. You got to crunch the numbers and find out exactly what this is. And in many cases, for people, renting was a better move long term. And I say all this because now I saw this. There's an account I follow on Twitter. I can't remember the name of it, but the guy's a CPA. And he does economic talks online. On the threads, like follow this thread, and it'll be 10 different posts. And this guy was talking about owning versus renting. And what he was saying now is, with the rise, in the cost of housing, and with the rise in many cases, like we've seen here in Indiana, in property taxes, and the rise in insurance that you're seeing year over year, it is not necessarily cut and dry that renting isn't not only a better option, but a cheaper option, because a lot of times with renting, you'll get locked in rate increases. Yep. Like, it'll go up no more than 5% a year, or no more than $50 a month or whatever. Well, by the time you factor in what your mortgage becomes with property tax increases here annually until these guys get off their asses and do something, and then insurance, which is the bigger part of it.
Or just maintenance.
Right. Well, I'm not even factoring that in. I'm just saying the mortgage payments. It's actually becomes cheaper to rent. Then, like you said, what if your water heater goes out?
Right.
Or what if your roof has something happen and it's not covered by
HOA
insurance?
fees.
Right.
Everything.
And there is now an argument being made more and more that it is a better move, especially this accountant laid out in the short term. If you're a person who stays somewhere for 20 years, probably better to buy. But if you're a person who moves every 3 or 4 or 5 years, better to rent, because when you factor in all the costs of a mortgage that are factored in, you don't have those in rent, right? Like you here's the rent, you pay it, you're done. Water heater goes out, somebody else's problem. It ain't mine, right?
Yep.
So anyway, something to think about. I mean, it is real money. When you see these rate decreases, it's in some cases hundreds of dollars a month.
And this may be the moment somebody can get in, right? Like, now it's dropped enough where it's within my budget. But
it is a real barrier to access. The other thing I saw this, it's like these guys say this stuff, and you do wonder. Like, I get being the CEO of a mega corporation is a big deal, and you're like guarded on every word you say because what you don't want to end up is the lead story on the nightly news, and so everything they say is hashed out. But I'm gonna read you the headline. This comes from Arcamax.com. Walmart CEO warns food prices are causing, quote, frustration and pain.
Yeah, big surprise, bub. Big surprise.
Walmart CEO warns food prices are causing.
What did you leave the house that day? I don't understand.
I'm going to just read you the top part of this. The chief executive officer of Walmart Inc. said American consumers are showing signs of stress as food prices remain stubbornly high.
Welcome to reality.
And one of the things that even Walmart, and obviously Walmart has a certain level of clientele. I can say this, I'm a Walmart shopper. They're very concerned that the middle class people or lower middle class people are running out of money before the month runs out, and now not only don't have enough money to buy the things they've always bought, but they're having to shift their shopping habits to the point where it's disrupting even how places like Walmart do business.
But we've been doing this for years already. For this guy to come out now and go, "Hey, I see what's going on," means he's out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
How many of us have stopped getting DoorDash? Now all of a sudden you're paying attention to the fees.
Yeah. Quote, Walmart is seeing stress behaviors among budget-conscious consumers, and, quote, we worry about that. Quote, you can see that money runs out before the month is gone. You can see people are buying smaller pack sizes at the end of the month. And so then this comes back to the frustration with Trump and this budget thing. Because what they're proposing through this reconciliation continues to add to the thing that is the problem, which is the amount of money in the economy. It's government spending. It's the government spending overcooked the economy. We now owe $36, going on $37 trillion. Money we don't have, that's deficits or future taxes that somebody else is going to have to pay. We're paying for it in the short term. Inflation is taxes. We've had massive tax increases. And their response is, well, we're going to add another $4.5 trillion over the next couple of years to the debt.
Which doesn't help us at all.
Which doesn't help us at all. So when you say, whoa, we got to have these tax cuts, but you're paying tax increases, which are going to be further exacerbated by the tax cuts if you don't get spending under control. And they're clearly, Trump or the Republicans, in no way committed to getting spending under control.
So I guess my question to you is this the new norm? Is this where you raise a price and people complain about it and they write people and get upset, but then we raise it a little higher and then you're just happy it's not ridiculous?
You're right. You're right. And I think it
almost
is
like gas. It was $3.50. Oh, we don't have any issues. Oh, well, now it's $3.15. Well, gas went down. It used to be $1.89.
Right. So you think about in the 1980s what Reagan inherited. And you think about people like think now, because obviously I was only alive for half, alive, not remembering, but alive even for half of Reagan's administration. But the recount of Reagan's administration is This guy walked in there like the Terminator, and it was sunshine and rainbows for 8 years, and it was morning again in America. That didn't happen until he was running for re-election. I mean, 81, 82, 80, some of 83 were pretty dark times.
The Jimmy Carter mess?
Right. But Reagan didn't just walk in with a magic wand and make it better. And what happened was his tax policies took effect, and you were able to cook the economy to the point where it grew out of the inflationary issues, where wages began to outpace inflation to the point where people didn't feel it. But inflation is so great now, and the problem, which is the debt and the spending, is so large now that you're not going to be able to tax cut your way out of prosperity. When you've got these middle-class people, and all he's doing with the tax cuts, I mean, unless you're a bartender or a server, now you don't pay federal income tax, I guess, so good on you under this bill.
But they paid on their payroll tax. Just not on tips.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's a difference.
But what is their payroll tax? $2 and
then talk to the company and have them pay them more.
Well,
my daughter's a bartender. I will have this debate with you.
Yeah, but that's
yeah.
But
so
I'm
she's
a
being
bartender.
she's being taxed on our payroll tax.
She's being taxed on $2.75 an hour, Spanglish.
So then raise it to minimum wage and tax her on $7. That's not her fault.
But no, nobody's saying it's her fault. I'm not saying that anybody.
So who's your helper? Comes by, fixes my tire on the highway.
Right.
Thanks, bub. Here's $20. You want him to claim that?
No, but I'm saying a big portion of the reason they pay the way that they do is because people are making more in tips. No
disagreement.
The guy at St. Elmo's, they always try to act like the server is some working at Irma's Cafe, if she brings home $15 an hour, she's lucky. The guy at St. Elmo's is making $60, $70 an hour minimum, right?
Yeah.
Why do I have to pay federal income tax and that guy doesn't?
Well, he is. He's paying on $275.
Yeah, right. That's my point. That's utterly ridiculous. My point on all of this is it's legalized vote buying. It's giveaways. The tax cuts that they're reestablishing for most people aren't going to change. It's just the status quo.
Yeah.
So you're not getting any benefit, yet your inflation
and you're spending, and you're still spending.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're getting screwed by the thing that Trump is proposing. You're getting screwed because they refuse to get the spending under control.
Let's sell some Trump gold cards, brother.
There's no way he's paying down the debt with that. That money will get spent. I guarantee you. There's no way. I might actually be for that if they guaranteed it would pay down the debt, but no way. All right, we got to talk about I guess you'd call him a D-list celebrity. I think he got done dirty by the Daily Mail. And I got to get your perspective on this. Spanglish in for Casey, 93 WIBC.
Get out my life, why don't you, baby? Get out my life, why don't you, baby?
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 19 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation, and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 19 years ago, I went, and 19 years later, I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better. You'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better, too. Go to Exercise Inc. today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, now in Fishers, too. ExerciseInc.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Hey guys, let's talk about feeling your best. If you don't feel that same energy, strength, you're moody, or it seems you've lost your drive with your partner, it could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer, and you'll find true experts at Low T Center. Getting tested is fast and easy. They're not all the same. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Learn about personalized therapy at a Low T Center near you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
Kendall and Casey.
I'm a young, up-and-coming professional. We are people who want to work. We want to engage. We don't want to be freeloaders. And yet, it makes it very hard for young people to actually do that.
Kendall and Casey, 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
There's a place out on the highway across the San Bernardino line where the truckers and the bikers gather every night at the same time.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Our old pal Jerry Lopez. Indy Spanglish on Twitter in for Casey. All right, Spanglish, I got an etiquette question for you.
Yeah, let's go.
So I saw this, and I thought, well, this might be something we would ask Susan about on the Mind Your Manners segment, but I thought, well, that's Friday. I'm not waiting until Friday, because I saw this yesterday, and, what are the rules for the road in terms of the paparazzi, for lack of a better term, trying to capture unflattering shots of people who are largely out of the spotlight?
So at what year should you age out from paparazzi?
Well, yeah. So if you saw Taylor Swift and she's looking like she just rolled out of bed and strolling down Main Street, okay, I get that, right? Like, she's the arguably the most famous musician in the world and is worth $1 gajillion and is actively telling everybody, look at me. So if she's schlubbing it up, right? I get it that people are going to take pictures of that and you might point and laugh at her or whatever.
Sure.
But at what point do we say, okay, you're not really seeking fame and fortune anymore, and don't you have a right to just look like I did going into the Walmart the other day and to be left alone?
I mean, I would agree. I would think that more probably depends on how high the paparazzi is on the scale. Like, if you're a good top-of-the-line paparazzi guy, you're not going to run around here chasing bums, right? But if you're just trying to...
How do they find these people? Like,
some of them get calls
people
ahead of time to, set up these fake... Make it look like it's real. Like, hey, Kim Kardashian's going on a date to eat here. Can you take some little pictures for us and make them look...
Yeah, but how do they find, the D or E-list celebrity was walking his dog down the street and so snapped a photo of them? How would you even know that? How do you
recognize the guy?
Yeah, but how do you know even to be there? Or does somebody see it, they take it, then they just are we in a world now where cameras are so good that these are random people?
We are the paparazzi.
Maybe we are the paparazzi.
We shot the video.
That's right. Okay, so I saw this. Daily Mail posted this photo, and it's of David Faustino. And David Faustino is best known as Bud Bundy on the Married with Children show.
Long time ago.
That show went off the air 28 years ago, 1997. So it was on from 87 to 97. He was a teen actor or whatever. That show was very popular, and he's done some other media work, etc.
I can't name one other thing Bud Bundy has done.
I think he did a couple reality shows, but it's not like he's some sort of leading man. This is not Tom Cruise. It's not Brad Pitt. It's not the guy from the Bob Dylan movie.
It's not even David Spade.
I mean, it is. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if David Faustino qualifies as a D-list celebrity.
I didn't know who he was. I told you I did not know who he was.
Yeah, you got to look, right? So he's walking his dog. He's 50. He's, in fact, it is his birthday today, according to Wikipedia. So he is happy birthday to David Faustino. No doubt he'll hear this.
Yeah, happy birthday.
He is 51 years old, and look, he's let himself go by all appearances with this photo here. He's not in very good physical shape. It appears
he's 51. Right?
He's a little overweight. He's walking his dog. He's got dog food on his person. He's got, looks like some sort of Starbucks cup, maybe a bag of food corresponding with. He's in his shorts, ill-fitting baseball cap.
Was not planning on having his picture taken.
He looks like a normal dude who would be 51-year-old dude who would be just, rolling out, doing errands for the morning, whatever. And they're posting these photos on Daily Mail of him as though they've caught some, some great expose here.
Yeah.
And poor David Faustino's just like, man, I just want to walk my dog.
See, I think this is the part that we don't see as regular people. Like, people want the fame and the notoriety. What you don't get is when you need to run to CVS real quick, you look horrible, and they post your picture everywhere.
And this fascinated me because it was like somebody, noticed David Faustino.
That's the big part.
No, I can say this as a short person. I think he's even shorter than me. He's a little guy, right?
I'm not tall either, and I look at him like, God got it right.
So he would stand out a little bit. However, again, it's been so long since he was in the spotlight of any sort. What person would be like, oh, man, and it's kind of crummy, right? Like, it's one thing if you see David Faustino at some restaurant or whatever, you're like, hey, man, can I come up and snap a photo with you? Cool, right. Whatever, right? Like, you do that, he agrees to it. But just taking random photos of people on the street.
Imagine looking like that and he sees my recording, like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Look how bad Rob looked this morning.
And, I don't think, who was the one? Was it that Aubrey O'Day that was posting, doctored up Instagram photos of herself?
That's a nice pull, Aubrey O'Day.
Was that who it was?
Yeah.
And then they posted, real photos of her, and they didn't look anything like it. He's not doing that, to my knowledge. There's not some thing where he's trying to make it though he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger circa 1984. He's just some guy living his life.
He looks like he's in the I'm enjoying life after acting stage of his life, which he deserves to do. He's 51.
This is why I chose radio. I did not want to be captured by the paparazzi.
You have the face for radio.
I can go to the Walmart and nobody's going to notice.
Does anybody ever take pictures of you? Have you ever been to a Walmart and somebody be like, "Are you Rob Kennett? Can I get a picture?"
Yeah,
randomly.
That happens. But it's mostly with me, it's the voice. Because unless you watch the YouTube feed, people don't see us. I get all the time with people. Like I told the story the other day. I was getting my hair cut, and the lady's like, "Are you?"
You sound like.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And so yes, but I will get that. But again.
So is there a moment in time where you'd be out with your family, be like, dude, stop taking pictures of me?
Well, I don't think people would just be taking random pictures of me because I don't think anybody
would
want to buy
Rob
the pictures.
Kendall is. Look at this. We love his voice.
I don't think Daily Mail is clamoring for photographs of Rob Kendall, but that is weird. Just randomly.
It's very weird.
Selling, what are you trying to make? And
the fact that TMZ put this up makes them think that Daily Mail, that we care about Bud Bundy.
Yeah, and again, it's like the headline. What does the headline even say here? The headline says, star of iconic 90s sitcom 50, seen on rare outing in L.A. Can you guess who?
Now, is it different if it's Applegate?
Christina Applegate?
Yeah, if it's her, are you gladly? But
no.
She went on and did modeling and
yeah. I mean, she was in the Ron Burgundy movie. Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. That
happy birthday.
This is some sort of happy
you
birthday to Bud Bundy 51. It's not the years have not been kind, but just leave the guy alone. Right?
Fair.
All right. Good job today, Jerry. That's going to do it for us today. Thank you to Kevin as well, and thank you to you, the listener. Stick around. Tony Katz coming up next. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC. Hey guys, it's Rob. It's March, and that means spring is right around the corner. And this spring, you can make your yard look great after some tough winter weather by calling my friends from Save a Tree. Last week, Sean from Save a Tree came out to my house, and man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more pleased with the free consultation. I know by the time they get done, Save a Tree is going to have my yard thriving, and I can't wait to enjoy it all summer long. Save a Tree is the tree, shrub, and lawn experts. And March is the perfect time to get started on planning for your yard in 2025. It could be one of the best home upgrades you've ever made. See how beautiful your yard can be. Set up your own evaluation at saveatree.com. That's SAVATREE.com. SAVATREE.com. Or dial pound 250 on your smart device and say the keyword Save a Tree. That's pound 250 keyword Save a Tree. Or saveatree.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They close fast, and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME.